Our busy day started off with saying farewell to our lovely cat bright and early. Last night we had a celebratory dinner at the Quail, sat at the same table we first had lunch at when the Jenny pulled into salvage 2 whole months ago. I gave her some farewell gifts, an archery glove, custom fit to aid her in any future sharpshooting adventures, and an odds and ends themed coin purse, also an original, though Anne and Luca got one as well. The coins were from Roselia's jewelry, by the way. It seemed only fair that Cat take it. After all, it was Roselia that gave Cat all the trouble to begin with. Seemed a bit of a buzzkill to share that specific tidbit, so that stays between you and me. I will miss Cat, of course, and I mean it when I say a normal amount, about as much as she'd miss me, I imagine. Fine conversation, clever outlooks, a kind nature, and other such perks. But we didn't separate under dire circumstances. That's how it's always been with us. Easy, exciting, and what a relief it is that it remains unchanged even after the adventures that we had. Off she goes, filling the pockets of street vendors the next shore over. The anticipation of meeting again someday, somehow, well, it tends to quash all the mushy stuff, doesn't it? Besides, I'd much prefer her be far, far away as we begin to get into the week ahead. So, today is the 12th. You recall how N investigated the flophouse, yes? Where a man was suspiciously found dead from, air quotes, narcotics poisoning. N scraped something off the floor for me to investigate, which turned out to be cinnabar, present in some makeups, but most notably in paint. And it's poisonous enough that our local alchemist Laurie warned me not to ingest it. Curious. And the fact that it is found in vermilion paint at a time when we are expecting a grand art gallery opening nearby. Curious again. Said art gallery opens privately on the 14th, then there will be an auction for the art pieces on the 18th, then it is open to the public until the end of the month. The theme is a new corvair, and N is hoping to touch base with an employee that they know, Tassie. Tassie the gnome is apparently N's first Regalport-based accomplice in book crimes. Little did I know I had a predecessor. She works at the auction hall and helped N secure that book on their hip for free. That's handy. Don't know how yet, but another piece on the board is a benefit to us, all things considered. Speaking of, I asked the other two to invite Damon to salvage as soon as possible, and they have arranged lunch on the 14th as well. I, for one, wouldn't mind his amulet and keen eye for magic and mischief on our side, though I don't know how necessary it's going to be to make him privy to the larger plot at play here. That is, Edmund Beckett. Edmund is, after all, why we are attending said auction to begin with. Former Knight of Breland, art enthusiast, audience member at the awful Snapdragon Theatre that N escaped, and thus far our only lead to uncover more about their nefarious dealings. I've asked N, brother Kai, for more insights about the Snapdragon operations. Evidently, N sees enough of their hallmark here to be suspicious, and why wouldn't they be? I would be of more assistance to them if I knew more, as difficult as it may be to revisit. And this all will be difficult. The topic of the art itself runs the risk of being rather triggering, so I intend to finish Luca's anchor before he thinks of stepping foot in there. And as much as I admire N's spirit, I'm wary of how their more bold approach may backfire. Yes, N can face the man, can read his mind, can slit his throat, of that I have no doubt. But it is destructive, too, to N in particular, which begs the question of sustainable momentum. Is N planning for survival, knowing that the scope of this mission starts at Edmund and ends possibly with the heads of the houses themselves? I spoke to Kai about it somewhat, and he offered some guidance, but then ended the conversation in a different mood than I'd ever seen on him. That is to say, a mood at all. He seemed upset, maybe angry, which is a feeling, I'll have him know, but I didn't push it at the time. It's not going to come as a surprise to me that Kai has feelings. He is N, after all. Admittedly, it is easier to be blunt with Kai than it is with N, though maybe not, after this conversation. Nevertheless, I did offer my 2 coppers about how execution is not our only option, about how we can perhaps learn more by keeping awful people alive rather than jumping to plan to kill or be killed. Who knows whether it will make a difference? We've laid out some pieces. The possibility of abducting Edmund from the auction house by commandeering his ride home seems to be one of the main conclusions that we've come to, but it will take some careful recon over the next few days to know our avenues for sure. So that's for us to solve. And on the 15th, Varys is meeting with the High Prince. And on the 15th, Varys is meeting with the High Prince. Indeed, High Prince Rhaegar, bastard son of the Winans, is back in town. It seems Luca is willing to accompany Mr. Greenleaf to the meeting, which I encouraged, though I don't know if Luca understands why. That's fair, it's uncomplicated. As for me, well, it's obvious, isn't it? Much as I'd love to tell you that I ambled home from Regalport as cannon fire announced Rhaegar's arrival, I'd be lying. It took an embarrassingly active effort not to sprint, and as each minute passes and time runs short and I make plans to revisit Regalport, I know I'll have to confront that, I know. I know the dynamic in town is changing. Everything is changing. And not I'm playing cards now. I think I just lost this hand again. But I'm here, at the poppy. Doesn't matter anyway, no one's playing to win. Well, not yet.
All done then.
Oh, Willow.
So,
Willow Jinkies.
we pick up at the poppy with you guys on
Sorry.
a round of cards that has dragged on a bit, but everybody is feeling mostly amiable. So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it is about
Yeah.
time that Willow gets home. You've cleared the air sufficiently after your stumblings.
Hmm.
And I believe, as Willow makes ready to excuse themselves, Luca?
I want to make insight checks on both of these hoes to see how
Sure.
they're doing.
Fine, I will too. Probably specifically on N, but
Willow,
maybe caught in my range.
7. And oh,
Do we have to roll separate?
No, you don't.
all right then.
How's everyone doing?
Luke is fine.
Make deception or persuasion checks if you feel the need to deceive or persuade. Otherwise, you can just say what people see.
I think Willow just seems tired, like they're ready to head home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Better
Em
than how
seems-
they were about to speed out the room.
Yeah. More normal. A more normal departure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And seems calm now. Like little tremors in their hands while they were gripping Fish Dog has subsided, and they've been smiling, and you can tell it's not a fake smile. They seem
Aw.
calm now. The round of cards really did a number for their mood and in a positive way.
Oh, good. Oh, for once. Good. I am relieved at that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the general stress has been soothed, at least.
Yeah.
I might hop up when Willow does and like tarry along behind them.
Willow's going to stop and look at you. Points at Luca's room. You're going that way, I believe.
Oh, do you mind if I accompany you home?
Why?
I feel the need to stretch my legs.
Okay, Willow doesn't have the energy to fight him on this, but they are going to sort of cast a side look at N. Though N does look genuinely okay.
Yep.
Yep. And might like still be like
Okay.
poking Fish Dog as it floats around, but it's more of a casual playing with Fish Dog because it's there than anything
Okay.
particularly troubling.
Okay. Well, N has Fish Dog, so I think Willow's going to sort of just relent and nod. Like, yeah, okay, I'll walk with you. Sure.
Yeah, I'll like call back to N that I'll be back later, wave them off.
Don't stay out too late.
He'll be back shortly. Good night, N.
Good night.
The two of you head out into the cool night air. Summer's on the way, but it's not here yet.
Was there a productive chat?
What did Luca say, sorry? That was a
That
productive
was
chat?
yes, productive.
Was it?
I think so. Was it not to you?
No, it's productive to me. I suppose.
Maybe it's because you think on a different plane of existence than I do.
Willow shakes their head like they're not sure why he's saying that. Seems a bit over the top. I'm just raising possibilities.
I'm glad you did, actually.
Good.
If I may be a bit blunt.
Willow winces in advance, like, sure, but like, quiet wince. You
And
may.
seems very determined to. And he makes a face. I'm glad you were able to maybe help them see other alternatives were viable.
For Edmund.
Shh. We shouldn't say his name, right?
Is he here?
Well, but people might hear.
Yes. The local fishermen of Salvage might indeed hear about our nefarious
Yes.
schemes.
Yeah. I don't want them thinking I'm a bad person. So.
For Edmund.
Hmm.
Brother. You seem very willing, aren't you?
I am aware that N might be unable to detach the way they feel about him from planning the best course of action. And I won't
Which is
argue with
fair.
them.
You won't.
Makes a face like I don't want to.
How do you feel about killing Redacted?
I think of it as like a big oak tree. And Redacted is a branch. And while it may be satisfying to rip off a branch that pokes you in the face, it's more effective to keep the branch attached so you can find the trunk and cut the tree down.
Willow nods as if impressed.
I'm not.
Well, I think we're on the same page.
I'll take that as the highest form of praise. I know pragmatism doesn't exactly suit someone like me, but
I'd say pragmatism suits most. Whether they endeavor for it is a completely different conversation, but not a bad look.
how do you feel about all this?
Willow shrugs.
You don't have to tell me, obviously. You are privy to your secrets. Privy's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
I don't know if I have anything significant to tell you.
Look at nods. If I may,
Do I?
you're a bit jumpy today. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Aren't I always jumpy?
Waves his hand. Yeah, but this felt different.
Well, there's plenty to do, and not many days to do it.
Still, it felt.
Perhaps it's just
Yeah. Well,
acceleration.
yeah. If you wanted to talk, I'm here. I know you won't. That's okay. If you wanted, I could get Secret Elsa to talk with you, or Bruno.
Yeah, Willow gives a look her face. Like, yeah, no.
Luca knew that was a bad option.
No, that's fine, thank you. Seeker Elsa has already visited me, made herself known. I'm aware that you would listen if I spoke about things. I believe I said everything productive.
Look, conversations don't have to be productive. They can just be. You can talk about your feelings too. That doesn't have to be productive. That can just be stating a fact.
Willow feels haunted by this phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Willow like openly rolled, like, oh lord, this again.
I knew it would.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any particularly strong feelings about whether Edmund Beckett dies or not. Oh, sorry, Willow keeps saying his name very loud. Look, I don't think that there's any threats of anyone nearby. Lucas just made them weirdly, like, aware now that Redacted. About how Redacted leaves this town, I'm just aiming for the most,
Well, I didn't
say, productive approach.
I didn't just mean about redacted. I don't know. Cat's leaving. Thing will be leaving soon. Maybe you're feeling like you're losing all the fun young people in town. They'll be stuck with a bunch of old fogies.
I feel like Willow's like so awkward about this conversation that they're like laughing, but they're also drifting away from Luca because it's like it's just, Willow doesn't know how to handle this line of thought. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, you don't have to say anything to me, but it might be good to say something to someone, is all.
Yeah, probably. But if... Help them. Mim is in the back. Willow doesn't know what to say.
Luca, make an insight check real quick.
Yes, sir. Damn it.
12 is not awful.
Oh no, but it's like, it was so close to 20.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the way the dice roll.
Yeah.
So on a 12, I think you can tell that it's not that Willow doesn't have feelings in general. It's just that they don't know how to talk about them at all. It's not that Willow just doesn't know how to have this conversation.
Right.
It's not that they're like deliberately being cagey or like they're deliberately playing this close to the chest. I think it's just that they are literally blindsided. And you are perhaps realizing that, like, oh, this is why they're so awkward about this all of the time, is they don't know how to do this.
I think does Luca give any look of like insight about him? I feel like Luca has an active insight face.
Yeah.
You could probably tell that he's looking at you and making connections. You can see him being connected in his brain.
I think Luca does the little puppy head tilt and then like blink.
Yeah.
Like he's just realized something.
Willer's going to quickly swerve this conversation. In any case, you speak exactly like Elsa. Old fogies seems to be a phrase that they use at the Poppy a lot, apparently.
Well, like...
And Bruno's not that old.
I mean, relative.
He's very old.
Right?
He's quite old.
He's very old. He's old, but...
He's old.
Young for his age.
No, he's old.
He's old.
No, he's old. Everyone in Salvage is old except for the little Willow waves their hand.
And the children.
And the children. The literal babies. But anyway, yeah, thank you for checking in. Yep.
Why don't I give you an out for this conversation? Is there anything I should know about Riker that I should keep in mind when meeting him?
Honestly, I don't know. Don't call him Your Highness, you'll get laughed out the room.
Oh, is he not a prince?
He's a prince, but not in the, Willow's going to, like, imitate, like, a very poncy sort of prince, like hoity-toity type. Of course, be respectful. Don't treat him like your friend down at the pub, but, I mean, you don't have to grovel.
Hmm.
Were you intending to grovel?
Well, no, but I was going to show deference due to a prince.
But yeah, I honestly think just the way that you conduct yourself is pretty good, all things considered.
What does that mean?
It means that it means what it means. Are you still intending to put on airs when you see the High Prince? Are you still intending to pretend to be someone that you aren't?
I don't know. What would be the best approach? Do you think?
So like a buffering? Oh, do you think? I thought he was going to continue talking.
No, that was the end of the
No.
sentence.
Okay, I was going to look at him. Did you take on board anything I said about you being wasted on stealth?
Yes, but I don't
What?
know how that relates here.
Well, I guess it depends. How are you going to introduce yourself to the High Prince?
I was hoping you could tell me.
Why does it occur to you that you have to be anyone other than Luca? Is it
Maybe he
because of your
Luca.
company? Maybe he knows Luca? Why would he know
Oh,
Luca?
I don't know.
I feel like the paranoia has rubbed off on you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I am hanging around with
because-
shady individuals.
You're hanging around with somebody who can hide, and people with reasons to hide. I don't necessarily believe that you have reasons to hide.
Oh, I shouldn't.
In my opinion, no. I
So
mean,
I just... You go.
no. If he doesn't recognize you, then you are building your reputation here in Regalport, and if he does recognize you, then, well, that's a lead. How does he know you? You don't even know you. No offense. I don't mean that to be cold. I just mean like you are looking for answers to your past. I mean, it's
a
one way to get
fact.
answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, well, there is the larger scope of, what reputation you'd like to manufacture here in Regalport. Not rather manufacture, but lean into.
Do I need a
If you know
reputation?
what I mean. Not necessarily, but if you want to go places, it might be useful. There's a certain level of freedom afforded to people that have sociable connections with others. And I mean, if you're capable, why not? You're playing to your strengths. You're likable and friendly.
Is that a fact
So
or an opinion?
that's a fact. The only reason you would be unlikable is if someone is rude. In general, you are a sociable person. The general opinion of you would be positive. You know how to manage yourself in situations. You work at a clinic. overall friendly vibes. So why pretend to be, you know, runny Eggman at the Crown when you could be friendly Eggman?
I would prefer a
Just seems
friendly
a-
Eggman, yes.
Yes, it'll be easier for you and honestly easier to swallow for everybody else.
Do you don't think I could be intimidating and cruel if I need to be?
I do, but why would you want to make that the personality that you're known about here in Regalport unless you wanted to exclude yourself?
Luca nods.
You understand what I mean? If you meet High Prince Ryder, and your first step towards him is, oh, the friendly guy that saved former Captain Varys, so those are accolades you should receive. Why not?
I suppose.
And then next time, maybe when you meet him at the auction house, you can say, ah, it is I, Luca, savior of Varys. Yet again, friendly man.
Then get him to slip something into Redacted's drink.
Maybe aim lower than manipulating the High Prince, who is currently manipulating all of the principalities.
I'm not at that level yet.
Maybe not.
I'm going to miss your insights. They are very valuable.
Willa says nothing to that. Just a sigh and keep walking.
Can I tell you a secret, Willow?
Willow looks at you. That's a yes.
What kind of look?
It's an expectant look.
I can tell you something I haven't told anyone. But you made me think of it just now, actually. Obviously, I don't want to leave salvage, but maybe not for the reasons that you think.
Willow like gives him an expectant squint, like elaborate.
To me, I feel like I am but 5 years old. I'm basically a child. I don't know how to exist properly yet. And I've only spent, 8 months with Secret Elsa? I know how to do things, but I don't quite think I know how to be a person properly. And aside from extenuating circumstances, I make a face. Most people have years and years before they have to go off and do something harrowing. I've got 8 months under my belt. It feels like a child trying to go and do something that would threaten their child life. When I think about it like that, I don't know if I'm supposed to leave salvage yet. Then I think there are people in Karnath who miss me. And then maybe they have a right to me more than I do to stay back as a comfortable child.
The two of you cross over a bridge down towards the docks.
I think Willow's considering what Luca said. After considering it for a moment, I think Willow will say, well, if it's any consolation to you, I think many people go their whole lives being a lesser person than you have accomplished in 5 years and 8 months, or whatever that was. So, when consulted for how you should behave in front of a high prince, my response is, be yourself. So evidently you're not doing that badly, even if you are a child.
I think most people are children in front of a prince.
You are overestimating the princes. Surely many of them are children as well.
Is there any spice in that?
Does Sarah ask that?
Yes. I'm asking you and God if I should be making an insight check on that. Because I know what that means, but does Luca have any inkling of what that means?
If you want to make an insight check,
Making
maybe.
a statement.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Honestly, that angle was just Willow might have strong opinions of the princes.
Yeah.
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 I guess that makes sense considering they're a pirate. So.
I would say on a 22 insight,
Yeah.
you can sense that it is... Willow has some personal beef with princes in general, or rather, the principality princes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not just like a vague statement. It's like it's a statement that comes from experience. You can tell that much on a 22.
Yeah. It's charged.
It's very charged.
There is spice behind it.
Boy, is there spice behind it. Spice and perhaps even spite?
Oh. Is there
Spice,
anything else?
pointy.
Ooh, pointy spices. Like cardamom.
Star anise.
I guess. Cloves? Okay, what's Luca?
No, is there anything else about the principalities I should know before speaking to the prince of them? Should I be able to name all of the principalities?
No. You're just a
going
guy
to quiz me?
that saved a life. I don't think he's going to expect you to be much of anything, and to that I say lean into it. Don't make yourself so favorable to him that he thinks that you should be a sea dragon. Don't make yourself so nothing that he forgets you the second he walks out the room. Or do, I suppose. Just be Luca. Honestly, the main thing you need to know about the principalities is... Well, okay. Let me put it to you this way. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of Ryga?
High prince.
One word. Further.
Pirate.
Maybe you're too nice for this.
What's the word? What word do you pick?
Haven't you seen it everywhere? Bastard. Bastard. Right. What do you think of that? What do you make of that?
That he was born out of wedlock?
As that? But why do you think then he would make that front page news his title?
He chose that title? Question mark. Luca doesn't know.
Well, if anyone has the power to make sure that that title is not printed on the fronts of newspapers in his own town, it's probably him, so he must be doing it on purpose, yes?
Why?
Well, it makes like a nod of like, here we go. Well, there's truth in it. This is the point they're trying to make. There's truth in it, yes? No doubt there were rumors about him being the bastard son of the Winans, and it sounds like an insult. And they of course have been framed in the way of an insult. He has been insulted, but the bastard son is a son, nevertheless, yes? So he's made it his title. He can own the rumor and lay claim in the same breath. You understand? And then there's the other meaning. He's a scurvy bastard. He's a bold bastard. He's a bastard to kill. All of these things, even the bits that seem like insults, are part of why he is as powerful as he is. He's told us exactly what he wants us to know. He is bold, personable, royal, dangerous, and honestly a little bit funny. I think that's kind of clever of him. He's chosen how we perceive him, even if it's not very pleasant. And ultimately, what else do we know about him? I can tell you that he is the bastard son of the Winans, that he has made a claim to royal lineage, and you can try and figure out what it is. Doesn't really matter. He is as powerful as he is anyway. But I can't tell you what he feels about anything. I can't tell you what his grander plans are, because he's focused us on the one thing to know about him, which is that he is a bastard. And that is a threat. And something to rejoice. And I think that's what you need to know about the principalities. A place of legends and being self-made pirate kings. You understand?
I think so.
Billy waves their hand like they're not even sure if they made a point. In any case, that's... I haven't met him, so...
You haven't.
Are you surprised?
Well, I just assumed you were the grandest pirate here.
Mm.
But that does go
With the
against your whole... I move my hand around them. Modus operandi.
Not very great, am I?
No, you kind of hunches over and makes the T-Rex arms, in the shadows.
Well, you at least have a prime opportunity to not be in the shadows. So, consider taking that under your belt, you bastard.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I will make that my personality one day.
Willow shakes their head like they're not even sure if Luca got the point. Like, if he's saying, yeah, maybe I will try to be like that, is like, no, wait, do you understand? Willow's just like, oh, whatever.
No, I think Luca got it. I think he did.
Okay, good.
Luca has gained insight about branding.
Yeah.
Little plus one over his head. Oh, managing perception.
You're
Building my reputation.
helping him understand social media right now. Building your online persona, basically.
Twitter handle. Raga's Twitter handle is that bastard.
No, I think it would be the bastard.
Yeah. Oh, you're so right. I would follow him so resentfully. He's so cool. Yeah.
Why resentfully, Willow?
No, that's Mim.
Mim resents that Riker is cool.
Actually, no, I don't. I celebrate it every day. He's so hot. I just can't wait to meet him.
Well, you're not going to. I am.
Mim resents that Willow is not going to meet Riker.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I imagined them talking any more about that.
No, I think you successfully did that.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you for your grand insights, Willow Jenkins.
Very welcome. Willow's standing at the door to their boat. Hope. Yeah, anyway. Talk to you tomorrow.
How are they vibing? What is their vibe?
Awkward.
Awkward.
I want to give their shoulder a little squeeze. A little jostle.
Willow will, a firm arm clap to his porcelain arm and nod and sort of like sliding back into their room. Like, can I close the door on you now? Like they will leave the door open until he leaves. Like, to wave him off, but otherwise they are waiting for you to go.
Luca's trying to decide if he's going to go.
Bro! Willow's going to... Do I have to accompany you home?
No, that would defeat the purpose of this endeavor.
Indeed. Yeah. So... Safe travels.
Is there anything I should know about your private conversation with N?
Oh. Willow shrugs a little. Just keep an eye on them as always, I suppose.
All right. Off to your lonely bed then.
Rub it in.
I'm sure you can find something to keep you warm.
Thank you, Luca.
If you get lonely, you can come to the poppy.
Thank you, Luca.
Good night.
Good night.
Slams the door in his face.
No, they're not gonna slam the door on you, but they are like closing
not
the door.
slamming. It's just the very like inching the door closed until like Willow's face is basically wedged in the door. They're still like looking at you, waiting for you to turn around and leave.
Yeah, stop saying weird shit, bro. Go home.
I'm going. Powell
You wave
walks home.
goodbye.
Yeah.
And Luca walks home with much to think about.
Yeah. Willow's not going to sleep yet.
Okay. You doing anything, Willow, or shall we?
Oh, I guess I could say that Willow's probably going to... That conversation was, like, laughably loaded. Like, it's, like, funny how much stuff was, like, randomly poked at, but nevertheless, whatever. Willow's probably going to pace around their room. Yeah, thank you. And, like, I imagine them still positioning little pieces on their chessboard as they go past it. Mm-hmm. And then they're probably going to take the paint out and paint like a square onto some kind of fabric, maybe like leftover canvas from their sale or something.
Yeah,
they're just
I'm sure you have like a scrap.
Things. Yeah, so they're going to paint that out, sort of see what it looks like, smells like, dries like, you know. Leave some of dry near a window. Yeah, obviously, so they don't, you know, they're not going to lick it. Thank you, Laurie. Yeah, and they'll probably place that next to the on the chessboard, rather, I think, on one of the corners. And then just kind of stand over the chessboard, look at it, and sigh, and I think that's probably the last we'll see of them for the night. Just kind of looking over their layout of chess pieces, which is not laid out like classical chess pieces, by the way. It's just a bunch of pawns all across the board in different arrangements.
Cool.
Luca is grandma power walking home.
Luca does a
what is a grandma
brisk,
power walk?
Does a little
the ones,
grandma jog.
Like the Kath and Kim style, like where they wiggle their hips really and their hands are really stiff on either side of their body.
Oh man, such a weirdo. Not because of grandmas, just because Luca's like that. It's odd.
Yeah.
Luca's a weirdo for his own reasons.
Yeah.
So. We cut back to the inside of the poppy.
Yes.
And what you up to?
Well, pretty soon after the two leave, I'm just going to retreat back to their room. I guess they'll bring Fish Dog. Might as well. Willow did leave it. And then goes to their desk and drops their book onto it with a sigh. Is sitting down, trying to get comfortable. They seem agitated. They flip open the book to a blank page and begin trying to jot down all the notes from the day's discussion. They're tense now, especially after going through all the thoughts of the day. And try as they might to stay focused, the little hand mirror they left on their desk, the one Kai looked at before, just keeps catching their eye. Literally, when they glance over at it, they see themselves glancing back. So, eventually they abandon their writing and pick up the mirror and glare into their own reflection.
When you look into the mirror, instead of the face of N, the face that you spent so much time carefully crafting, the person that you want to be, you see Kai staring back at you, expressionless.
You can't do that. You can't threaten Willow.
I would not have hurt them.
What, like I do by losing my cool like a little baby who can't handle any of this?
And
Kai?
I should have remained until the moment had passed. You weren't ready.
I wanted to come back.
Perhaps that desire was ill-advised.
Yeah, that's the story of my life, isn't it?
You're upset.
We're upset. We're the same person, except you're not supposed to get upset.
I am concerned.
Oh, is that what that look was? That threat? Don't you think this is all hard enough without you fighting me?
It wasn't you I was fighting.
I'm not that fragile. One glance in his direction won't kill me. I handled myself back there, didn't I? I did it at the Galleria, with the eye, and even when I talked to Luca about the victims, I pick myself up every time.
I know that. That's what I'm for. You're not fragile, but you are safer if we take precautions. Denial of that fact does you no favors.
Denial, right. Like you denying something isn't up with you.
I almost lost you once. I will not let it happen again.
Kai, are you going to try and stop me?
Do you want to stop?
I can't stop now.
Then no. I will only do what's necessary to keep you stable. But you have to trust me.
I do, it doesn't seem right. He shouldn't be the enemy.
He'll hurt you. He'll bring up things that will make things more complicated. I'm just going to keep him silent. We both agree that you shouldn't be contending with this right now. You have a mission to focus on.
And touches the mirror. Her palm is pressing to the edge of the glass.
Kai's hand meets yours against the glass.
And what if I am making a big mistake? Oh, stupid mission of mine could ruin everything.
You won't let it. You are smarter and quicker than them. All I will do is ensure that you can see this through. Use me if you need to retreat, to think, to rest. Don't wait until you're about to break.
This shouldn't be happening. He's supposed to be dead.
I will protect you.
I know. And brings the mirror to their brow and presses it against the glass.
Kai's brow meets yours. Cool, hard glass in between the two of you. When you feel that, when you do that, you feel like you're not really in the nodding poppy anymore in your room. You feel as if you're in the backstage of your mind again. that deliberate, quiet place inside your own head that you have created. All the doors are closed. No other faces around you. Only Kai's arms embracing you, swathing you in a silent, comforting darkness. Like being under the covers of your own bed. A space that is quiet and private. Safe.
I'm scared, Kai.
I understand. He holds you closer. So close until even the white of your hair vanishes in his shadow. Nothing can touch you in this place. You're safe here.
And we'll probably pick up the mirror and go to their bed, and they're not even totally conscious of this. And they'll just fall asleep with that mirror kind of cradled in their hands. Just exhausted.
You sleep dreamlessly under Kai's influence. We close the day there. Next morning comes.
What the fuck?
That's the
Is this
sound of
allowed? I swear, like, what's
That's the sound of the sun rising.
Luca would have poked his head in to
What
check on
the
Ed.
fuck was that shit? What the fuck was that shit? Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I think Luca just sees N
In bed.
sleeping,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just like tucked up. You can just see the little top of their white hair.
Okay. Just for the record, Luca checked on them.
Yeah.
Next morning starts at the Nodding Poppy as usual. Let's roll for weather.
Oh my god, who's gonna roll?
It's me.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
Whoa! What are the odds?
It is a little bit cooler than the average. But it is brightening up and the skies are perfectly clear.
Yeah.
So it'll probably get warmer as the day wears on. There's a light breeze.
Yeah, and probably doesn't come out of their room immediately. They're in there still, but they're awake. You might hear them shuffle around. They haven't left the room yet.
Okay.
Yeah. N is doing something very important.
So am I. I'm making breakfast so we can all be prepared for this day.
Yes. I believe that you are going to go down to meet Willow, or is Willow coming up to meet you guys?
Well, and has something to take to Willow, so...
Yeah.
We could take them
I think-
breakfast.
You
Why
could.
not?
We could.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so... And we'll come out at some point, all ready to go, like they look like they're ready to head out the door and not have breakfast. Just like... They seem a bit hyped up. Not as much as Willow was the other day, but...
Everyone's getting hyper. It's funny.
Like they have a laser focus of sorts, and they just kind of walk through the poppy towards the front door, open it and stop, and then close it and look back towards Luca. Like they just realize they don't live here alone and they're not making their own rules, and there's the smell of food in the air.
Luca's standing there with his spatula and a sad
Like-
expression and his apron.
Luca's standing there with an apron because, of course, he's made pancakes
Oh my God.
again. Or, like, custard toast. Let's say custard
yeah.
toast. Let's change it up.
Yeah.
You can't have pancakes every single day.
Well, not with that attitude.
Then they
I'm a
don't-
big boy. I
then
need
they're
my
not
carbs.
special- Then they're not special anymore.
Disagree.
I
When
have
they're made
memory
with love,
loss.
they're always special.
Fair enough.
And we'll come
Anyway,
back
so-
and have breakfast, and then be like, I have something to deliver to Willow today.
We could. Do you want me to come with you?
I mean, if you want.
We
It
could
might
take them
kill
breakfast.
2 birds with 1 stone, honestly.
Why would you be killing birds?
It's a phrase.
That's
I think Luca knows that he's
no,
being
he's
silly.
being an idiot. Yeah. They should make a better phrase, and he starts making something for breakfast for Willow.
It is rather violent.
Well, why would you?
And is pacing.
Can I do a sneaky little insight check on him?
Oh, go ahead. And
What's the vibe?
like, you know when there's something that you're kind of dreading doing for the whole day and you can't get anything else done because there's this one thing you have to get over before you get to that point in your day where you can think about anything else?
Right. Okay.
It's the waiting for a phone call.
Yeah.
Aw.
Then I will
Energy.
hastily prepare breakfast. Willow can get not my best, so we can leave.
I think you make.
We finished and we ate it,
breakfast
and
to
then we're
go.
going to take it to
Yeah.
Willow. And came back and had breakfast because you looked like a kicked puppy, so
Yeah.
now they're back up. Like, they sat down, they ate, and then they stood back up and started to pace while Luca was talking.
Okay.
Waiting to run out of the door.
Nice.
Luke, like, do you think pigeons have feelings? And like, I really need to go, actually.
Yeah.
You think birds get songs stuck in their heads?
A conversation you have while you are
Walking.
power walking down to the dock.
Luca sees a seagull and it's all over for us.
And it's like giving, yep, kind of responses.
Yeah.
Luca's carrying the entire conversation.
And that's fair because Luca's the only one who has curiosities about these things. So he can answer his own
Willow
questions.
might, but Willow's not here.
I'll ask
Fair.
you one day, Willow.
And we're all trying to sleep.
Can't wait for more sleepovers.
Right?
You arrive down at the Jenkins workshop.
Yep, so am I knocking
Ding dong.
or am I ding-donging? What's the appropriate way to
Knock,
get
knocking,
your
I guess.
attention? Do you have a doorbell? I feel like
I
no.
imagine
No.
no. I imagine that Willow's left all their got all their work done, by the way. So it's mainly just self-employed stuff this week, just to say murder mystery solver.
Maybe not a murder.
Yeah,
we don't know yet.
we don't know. So yeah, Willow's probably awake. I still imagine them like just toddling around the room. They don't look like they're doing much, but you can tell they're deep in thought, and occasionally moving back to their board again, just looking at
Yeah,
it.
there's a
wandering around the room,
chessboard
paint.
set up on the table.
Yeah. With their little panel of paint. Anyway, so they'll answer the door to you guys though, if they know it's you guys, which I assume they know.
Smells
Yeah,
Luca's
it's-
breakfast.
Hmm.
You hear a pair of footsteps that's
Yeah.
like one is light and purposeful,
One
one
sounds
is
like
large.
One sounds like boobs. Yeah. That's fair. I guess.
Okay.
You hear the sound resting moodily.
Back? Oh,
Other one.
okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, Willow will answer the door to you. They look like they've been awake for a while, so
Morning.
We bought breakfast.
I'm immediately insight checking Anne. Welp.
It's clear they've come with some purpose, though you couldn't tell what it is right now, and they will probably tell you, so why make assumptions?
That's fair. Okay. But they don't seem okay.
They don't seem
Yeah.
distressed
You know, the
at this
puffy-eyed-
point. They just
Yeah,
seem like focused on something. They haven't been crying. If anything, they look bright-eyed, but maybe not in the
odd. Okay.
most positive sense. Just in the I have a mission and I am focused on it and I'm fine. And at this point, I'm fine is
Okay.
not a lie.
Okay. Good morning.
You let
Starting
them
out
in.
early. Yep.
Luca hands you a paper wrapped, I'm gonna say like a little breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you.
Don't let any
Um,
go to waste.
Yes, well,
I kind of imagine Willow's going to, on their way past their table, toss like a cloth over it, just because there is like a weirdly set up chessboard there. They probably won't, actually. They'll think about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, and starting to talk?
yes.
Yep.
I am planning to return to Regalport today. Not
Oh,
right this minute,
good.
so don't think you have to rush out the door. You can enjoy your sandwich. But I figured today, since it's the limbo space between the gallery and yesterday, I might as well use today to poke my head in some of those businesses that our target has visited. Just to see what they're about, see what I can see, not try to break into anything or do anything fancy. You know, recon.
They're just basic crimes instead of big boy crimes today.
I'm pretty sure walking through a door of an open facility is not a crime. At least not last I checked. Though I suppose everything I touch does have a quality of the thing. Regardless, I was also considering checking Madani, see if they have any info about our friend from the birth.
Willow nods like... I believe they started eating their sandwich, so
Yeah.
they're
Mhm.
nodding in the sense of like, thank you for saying that while my mouth is full. They agree.
So if you would like to accompany us, you're welcome to. But if you're busy today, that's fine as well.
Oh, am I coming?
What did I say about killing two birds, Luca?
Oh, I didn't tell Secret Elsa.
We're not leaving right now.
Ah, okay.
And pats Luca's arm. But that's not the only reason I came here. And it's gonna dig into the back straps of their book bag, which is, for those who are uninitiated, it is a book in leather straps. It is a bag that is a book. And there are a couple envelopes tucked in the back strap, so you can't see it from the outside, but they're in there. And is going to hand one of those to Willow once Willow is finished eating, and hand the other one to Luca. I was thinking about something that Willow said last night, and really our whole conversation and the conversations we have had throughout the last few months. And I decided it would probably be best if I simply wrote down all the information I have regarding the Snapdragons and give it to both of you, just to ensure that you have all the information, because I'm starting to honestly lose track of what I've said, what I have not said, what I haven't been able to say, and who I have said it to. And if you're going to be involved, I want you to be all in the same place. But what's what? Yeah?
Willow nods.
Now, I warn you that it is heavy. It's obviously. So, read it when you're in a good place. Or at least in a position to take care of yourself with something. And the letter is troubling. And I'll probably be leaving for Regalport in the afternoon, so I will leave you to it. And it's going to look like they're ready to go.
Willow's going to look kind of sharply at Luca. See what's Luca look like.
He's looking at the envelope.
Right, okay. Then back to N. You wrote this morning?
Yes.
Then probably best you two go together, yes?
And looks at Luca. I'm alright. I've got plans. Don't worry.
Plans?
At the Poppy.
Doing what?
Anne's gonna go to leave.
Wait, am I coming
The
with you?
The
if you're
implication
looking to,
is the implication is, and it hits you like a second later, is that Anne is going to talk to Seeker Elsa, and
about this troubling letter.
yes,
Okay.
about their problems,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
take a moment to decompress after doing this difficult but important thing.
yeah. I kind of imagined Willow to look at Luca, like a sympathetic, like, with him being like, "What are you doing at the puppy?" And then N leaves the room.
Yeah, it just takes Luca a second to realize the implications, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah. No, I
Right.
imagine Willow's like, "Well, that's good. That's good." Insistently to Luca.
Do you want me to stay here?
For what purpose?
Not you. Anne.
Isn't N gone already?
Are they?
And went out the door. Yeah.
Oh.
N left.
Am-
That's why Willow said
Should
to
I
you, "That's good." Like,
Should I stay here?
I think Willow shrugs. It seems that N has sorted out their day, so it's really up to you.
you could read the letter together."
Yeah, Willow gestures.
Yeah.
I think Willow actually might say, if you would like company, considering what N just said.
It might be an idea to have someone nearby.
Okay. Yeah. Well, see, Willow was only suggesting that you go home with N when it wasn't clear that N has already made plans. Now that N has made plans, you are free to want Luca. So yeah, we can read it together then. I think
I'll
Willow's
probably
not
read
going
it
to dally.
slower than you. So,
It's not a race. Willow is going to probably open the letter. I think they are forcing themselves to open it while Luca's here, so they don't dally on it, basically.
well, Luca will sit at the table with you and open it up.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Willow is not sitting, but yes, that's neither here nor there.
I'm going to share the document with you two so you can read along.
Okay. What? Why are you? Why the fucking gasp just then? What just happened?
I'm nervous!
Oh, okay. Oh,
Well, I'm reading, so all you have to do is listen.
Oh my... Wait, who's reading? You reading?
I'm
Okay.
reading.
Rom reading.
Okay.
The anxiety emanating off you is making my hands sweaty.
Yes, well, N's letter reads as follows. This is a rundown of all the information I believe is pertinent to understanding and protecting yourselves against the snapdragons. If you have any questions, please ask me and I will do my best to answer them. The
Pause,
snapdragons.
please.
Yeah, pause. Sorry. Your voice is getting very muffled on our end.
Can we change servers, maybe?
We'll switch
Yes.
the server. Yeah.
Yeah. I am on it.
Thank you, God.
Let's try
And I will.
this one.
Oh.
How is it now?
Let me know.
Okay.
Rom,
stay
can you
aligned.
It's a bit muffled all around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do another one.
Y'all sound good to me, so I'm no help here.
Yeah.
How is this?
Oh, we're green. How are you, Rummy?
I'm green.
Green.
Sound
Green?
cool.
Yes.
As long as Rummy and I can hear each other.
I'll start from the top and you tell me if we go to shit again.
Yes, please. I was going to
Okay.
request
Yes.
Yes. So the letter reads as follows. This is a rundown of all the information I believe is pertinent to understanding and protecting yourselves against the snapdragons. If you have any questions, please ask me and I will do my best to answer them. The Snapdragon Theatre. The Snapdragon was a House Fjarlan theatre in the Smoky Towers district of Sharn. Elanis Ilaranthi de Fjarlan, younger sister of Fjarlan's current matriarch, was the director. It was notable for being in a quote-unquote up-and-coming district. In actuality, it was a gentrification push into a middle-class entertainment district. I worked there for nearly a year before the incident occurred. For the majority of that year, I didn't suspect foul play of this nature. I was not N at the time. They shouldn't immediately recognize this persona. I observed Alanis enjoying the company of multiple quote-unquote friends. She seemed quite close with them, and they were repeating faces who frequented the theater. All were of high society, but none were prominent members of their respective families. And then has jotted down a couple names here alongside some notes. They match the names Willow found on their list. Tane, the wealthiest, most influential family in Sharn. Elisha and Demel, members of the 60 families, a group of the most prominent families in Sharn. And Moros, former member of the 60. I had a gut feeling Alanis was involved in something untoward, so one night in the month of Sephiros, I decided to search her office while she was occupied with an after-party. When I entered the office, I immediately encountered the Nothic, and there's a rudimentary doodle of the Nothic here, a humanoid creature with a grinning mouth and a single bulbous eye. The Nothic captured me. It learned everything about me by reading my mind. It also forced me into my true form, likely through magic. The Snapdragons used what the Nothic learned to further break me down. My biggest concern has been either of you ending up in this position by investigating. The show. I was held in the wings of the Snapdragon stage for an undetermined amount of time. A week, at longest. Magically bound to a chair and made docile through either magic or drugs, I'm not sure which. The audience was small, maybe 20, a private performance. Most looked like the type you'd find in Skyway. 6 other victims were held in the wings with me. Alton, Matthias, Sylvia, Acacia, Harrison, and Katja. They were all struggling, lower-class individuals with traumas ripe for exploitation. For example, Alton was an ex-soldier, and Harrison and Katja were a refugee couple. We all had eyes planted in our bodies, though not all of them were planted in eye sockets. Each victim's quote-unquote show was based around their traumas. They were forced to recount or relive them. The Snapdragons utilized spells or contraptions to bring the traumas to life on stage. Some were made to perform, one drowned in a tank, others were forced to fight each other to the death, mutilate themselves in desperation, or commit horrible acts, all for entertainment. Due to their eye implants, the victims were racked with pain, experienced hallucinations, or babbled about strange knowledge. Sylvia died in the wings due to an adverse reaction to her eye. Many times, the Snapdragons promised the victims that if they performed adequately, they would be released alive. This was always a lie. The Snapdragons enjoyed giving hope and then ripping it away. When it was my turn, I was grabbed by the back of the neck and dragged to the stage. That was when the fire happened. This might act as a trigger for me. And the section ends with a list of descriptions and names of the audience members and can remember. Non-Fjarlan elves, a few gnomes, so on and so forth. High society people. Most of the descriptions don't have names attached. Edmund Beckett. Edmund Beckett was an audience member. I did not witness him directly involved with the killings, but he drank the tears of Katja, who had watched her husband be coerced into committing suicide. The Flophouse victim. The victim matches a classic Snapdragon target, an ex-soldier likely dealing with trauma and struggling to get by. The victim was found dead, reportedly from a narcotics overdose. Drugs may have been used on me. Missing eyes, possibly due to their eyes being removed. Cause of death could have been a violent reaction to a newly implanted eye, but blamed on the narcotics in their system. In conclusion, I wish to stop Edmund and the rest of the Snapdragons from causing further harm and get justice for the victims. The Port Authority, Sharn Watch, or any other system of law enforcement will be useless here. People of this caliber have countless ways of avoiding traditional justice. Alternative means will be necessary. Once you're finished with this letter, I urge you to destroy it to prevent its use against you. Thank you for hearing me out.
I think when Willow reaches the end of the letter, it's indicated by a long breath and then just kind of back to reading it from the start.
Luca is focused, looks a little bit stern. And then he places it on the table and kind of flattens it out. And leaves his hand on top of it slightly so it won't move. You alright?
Willow didn't make that sound, that was me.
Yeah.
Yes. And you?
Luca nods.
Mm. Um, I imagine that Willow's going to just keep. If N is concerned about this, like Willow's not saying this, but I'm asking if N is concerned about this being like used against us, we can still copy information from it into another something.
Mhm.
Yeah, just the letter itself. Because I think Willow will start jotting down like keywords, key elements of it, names, features.
Luca will have to do that later.
Yeah, and I think Willow will like obviously sit at the table for that. They were standing, leaning against their bench before, but they will come sit at the table, write down the key words, and then I think once they're finished writing all the keywords, they will gesture to Luca if he wants that Willow to take the letter.
Not yet. I'd like to make a few notes of my own.
We could. I think Willow has means of burning. Their furnace would be the first place I imagine, but also they do have Roselia's wand on them if we wanted to invoke that. Can I use that on a whim?
A wand is a spellcasting focus, not. It does not inherently do a thing.
Right, so it isn't a fire wand. It was that she has fire powers, and used the wand as a focus. Okay, cool. Just wasn't sure if it was like a fire starter for my barbecue. Yeah, so Willow will probably go to their stove then, rather.
Yeah.
Burn the corner of it and just kind of watch it. Make sure it is reduced to ash. With a heavy heart.
You know what Skyway is?
Can I rack my mind? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a neighborhood in Sharn. It's the upper echelon of the city, in fact. It is a floating neighborhood for the most elite and wealthy of the city.
Right.
Willow would basically say that to Luca, so. And may I do a check on what, like, I feel like someone's mentioned the 60 to me before, but can I check on that as well?
The information in
that?
there is just what N gave you. The 60 families is like the most wealthy high
60
society of Sharn.
Oh, okay, so that's all?
That's it.
There's no more
That's
information
it.
to learn about them? Okay.
Nope. I don't think that would be relevant to Willow.
Okay. Tis much.
So, while you guys digest that, let's cut back to N as they head back to the poppy. Describe what happens for me, Rum.
Yeah, and walks back to the poppy, just kind of power walking. They don't really notice that Luca didn't even come with them until halfway back, but that it isn't really a problem, whereas it's just indicative of the fact that N is very laser focused right now.
Yeah.
So they glance back and then they keep going. Arrive back at the poppy, push the door open, very low key, not wanting to disturb Elsa if Elsa's busy helping anyone or busy with work. But I think N probably mentioned to Elsa that they wanted an aside with her when they got back. So she's aware, at least, of that.
I think she notices you come in and finishes up the little conversation with somebody who is here to pick up medicine.
Yeah.
And nods to you once she's free.
And, like, flashes a smile, but is quite obviously a polite smile, not a genuine one. Just they're reflexive, I'm fine, and then you realize you're talking to your therapist. And
yeah.
Like, falls to the wayside. Yeah. And we'll kind of nod up maybe to Elsa's room to have the conversation.
Yeah. She puts a little sign on the counter to say that she will be right back and walks with you upstairs.
Yeah.
Closes the door quietly.
And we'll have a conversation with her to decompress the
Yes.
bubbling feelings under their skin.
I think what we do here is Seeker Elsa saying, I'm glad that you're ready and able to come to me with this sort of problem. It's a good thing. You're doing the right thing.
I think En just kind of nods and is holding her hand at that point as they talk through the things that they're dealing with.
So we slowly zoom out of this shot and fade to black. And I think it's about time for our intermission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goody. I need a pee break. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. I
See
need
ya.
to
Look
cry.
out there.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Hella intrigue, but sucks.
Not,
Mm-hmm.
not fun.
Not fun at all.
I think I'm
Yikes.
gonna go feed myself real quick. I will
Sounds good.
see
Okay.
you shortly.
I will peace out when someone comes back. For now, I stare hard across the table at Rom. Hello.
Hi. How
What
you
the
doing?
fuck is up, Kyle? Man, step the fuck up. You know?
Uh-huh.
What's up? Bro, what is happening in that head of yours?
Oh, so much.
So much. Okay, like I was trying to. Okay, I am going to reverse past the Snapdragon letter, cause yikes. To
Valid.
the Kai and Anne conversation. What? One glance at his direction isn't going to break me. I can't tell anymore what we're talking about. You know, like because for
That's
a sec
fair.
I was following like we might be talking about Edmund, but then I was like we might more likely be talking about Thale because you're not saying names. You always say Edmund Beckett, you know. So I'm
Mhm.
like Thale, yeah fucker. This stuck in my head as like I was talking about him. So that we know, by the way, to catch the people up at home. I spent like 2 streams ago at the end of the stream being like, who is Thale? Maybe he's a third party. And then like immediately after that, started entertaining the possibility that Thale is just one of N's personas that N has had to bury in the back of their mind. In the same way that they have compartmentalized the rest of their mind to be a front stage and backstage, which is normal ass behavior.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh wait, there's a very high likelihood that Thale is just the person that N was at that time who did unreasonable things, and so N has buried him in their brain. No. Wait, we found out during this letter that Snapdragon N was forced into their actual persona. But it still
Yeah,
doesn't
their
mean
true
that Thale
form.
didn't fuck up initially.
It means there's no
Yeah.
persona on them. They're just like,
Yeah, no persona, sorry.
yeah, pure.
Maskless, personaless, just pure marshmallow.
Yeah, pure white.
Yeah. Titanium white.
Mhm.
Blanco. Anyway, so yeah, so that's interesting. I was just like, maybe? Because I've been entertaining like what if Thale is who N was at the time of working for a year at the Snapdragon Theater, and then it's like via Thale that N had this horrible experience, and so like it's a persona that N does not look at anymore because it's like, you know? And I
Mhm.
feel like if he is the persona that N was at the time, then there's a possibility that N did something very awful. Again, looks to be out of their control because they were being puppeted, but like still.
I feel like
they
burning
just
down
kind
an
of-
entire theater could be viewed as a negative.
No, not N doesn't view the killing of bad people as a net negative in that way, you know? It's a theater, it's a building, and people killed, but if they're horrible people, I don't think N's going to be like, ugh, I must repent because we're not built like that. Like, oh no.
I must
I
repent by
killed
killing
awful
more.
Fucking, Yeah, and seems very much on a wicket of, yeah, well, I'll kill people who deserve it, like, who have killed and hurt and harmed others. So very much, if N has any penitence about them, I'm sure it must be more about having hurt innocent people. Or
And their whole
so, like, that's my angle.
prophetic namesake is penitent. So
Yeah, that little penitent has been catching my ear since the bloody, like, because I'm like, you don't repent either. I say this a lot, but either you're repenting from something you think you did wrong, in which case N's like got that unfair self-critical angle where like they don't seem to acknowledge that they were in a position where there was very little else to do to survive but do wrong things, or they actually did something that would be objectively seen as wrong. However, because we are, reasonable people, we'll also consider the environmental impacts on, because we're all lefties, we'll all consider the environmental impacts on N's actions. So yeah, that's just it's interesting. And I am basically, long story short, I think Dale might be a persona that N is locked in their head for reasons that they can't refer to by name because the I had to, and it seems Kai can't either. The fuck, Kai? Oh, Kai said something so he shouldn't be the enemy. He'll hurt. Okay, and I think said he shouldn't be the enemy, but I'm like, is Kai also? Sorry, I'm pop locking over here. Is Kai also repressing the troublesome parts of your brain that would otherwise like fuck around and find out? I don't know, man. It's really like, it's wonky.
Yeah.
It's winky wonky, binky bonky, bing bong.
is Kai sitting on that little bitch voice constantly? Just squashing her face into the ground?
The shitty voice that says mean things to N, that is also probably N. I swear to God, I'm so like stressed because every time N has a flashback, I'm like, is this another person or is this just you? Because it is very likely that N is just going to be in an echo chamber of their own brain, hearing all of their personas screaming at them. You know what I mean? It's just, N out of all the characters is a very cool way to like visualize and conceptualize the idea of like the function of having multiple different faces in the changeling sense. It's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah.
I need to leave.
Yeah, go.
Okay, bye.
How you doing, Luca?
It's all right. I feel like he knew enough of this that he wasn't like deeply affected by reading what he did.
Yeah, and has tried to impart this information on you all.
Yeah.
They're just making sure that everyone's on the same page.
No, I just feel bad for N.
That's valid.
That's how I feel.
That's fair. It's not a nice situation.
I'm firmly in my Luca brain of, oh, I have to help them. I have to protect them.
Well, that is what you've committed to.
It is.
And now you have some Riger thoughts to think about.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation, actually. That turned out very different than I was expecting, but
That's
fun.
Usually how it goes, yep.
Nothing is ever what you expect it to be.
Not in this show. Not in improv. Things just happen. But you gotta deal with that.
It was interesting listening to Zeke doing your Kai voice.
Yeah.
Now we both have done it. Now we just need Willow to do it.
I'm sure that'll happen someday. We got Willow to imitate Cat. I'm sure we can make this work too.
That's true. That's true.
Get
We'll find a
Willow,
way.
get Willow at another game of dice and encourage them to truth or dare again.
Hello.
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 Welcome back. I'm
Hi.
gonna step away now since you're back.
Yeah.
Yay. Hi, how are you?
Yay. Having so much fun.
You better be.
Play D&D, they said. It would be fun, they said.
It is fun. You're just also distressed. Distress is fun.
Yay.
Yeah.
Actually,
Nah, for real. What did you guys discuss while I was out?
not much. I am not very chatty today because I am obscenely tired.
Damn. Bum, bum, bum. Then allow me.
Yeah. You can be
Did
our
Luca
chatty
learn
Cathy.
anything from our little chat?
I think he did.
Okay. Good. I'm glad.
I did say that that conversation did not go how I expected, as is the way of
Ah, really?
roleplay. Yeah.
Wait, what were you expecting?
Well, no, I'm going to save it for later because maybe I'll use it later.
Oh, right, okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey,
You have quickly
Hello.
returned.
I'm
Hi.
back. Yeah.
I was just saying, yeah, like what happened in my absence, but it seems like not much.
Nope. Zeke did
Hmm.
my Kai voice is the main thing I remember.
Yeah. Very good. Very captured that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kai, my man. What the fuck is up? I loved hearing them argue.
That was fun.
Yeah. And being like, I'm you, dumbass! Like, you know, actually, and having their little moment of like, you're not meant to have feelings struck me as like, it's interesting because N is very nice to us all the time. And I'm not saying it's unkind, but it is very different to hear and more sharp way of speaking to themselves because we haven't heard that since like the start of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it's like interesting to hear when N starts being rude to themselves in their N voice in a roundabout way, because being rude to Kai is being rude to yourself, you know?
Me.
In a way that we haven't heard N be a catty little bastard since like the single digit episodes.
Yeah, because
So
that's when they got their
it's
revelations
interesting.
from the two of you, and things started to change for them.
Yeah, things are changing.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. We've heard it come back once with Damon, and then we've heard it now, like obviously with Brasilia and actual villains. Yeah, but yeah, that cutting kind of manner of speaking is felt strange to hear in N's voice, in a good way, interesting way rather. I feel for you, but
Feel for you in that head of yours.
yeah. Ultimately, all of these, it's just so lonely. It's the more like personas you reveal for N to be talking to in their own head, like the more lonely they feel. It sucks.
Hmm.
But I'm glad you're talking to Elsa.
Yeah.
Getting out of your head. All of you, gestures to all of the personas that N has, need therapy.
Every single one of you bastards.
And I
My
really got the
computer died.
impression of like,
My computer died.
Oh no.
oh, damn. I was just talking about, and like every single one of you was fucking one of yes, like hearing N's voice dip into the little shit voice as well. Like the calling themselves in the same way that they referred to themselves when they were at the theater, at the Gallery of Shadows.
A baby.
Yeah, little baby, little bitch baby, motherfucker. And then like Kai also being there, and then N voice being there. Also, I find it very interesting that N was like created specifically. That confirms some the N as we know them now was like a deliberate choice. N spends forever on the customization screen in video games.
Maybe so.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Lots to read into. And then there's this bullshit gestures at the fucking Snapdragon letter.
Yeah.
I deliberately just missed my mouth. Why? To feel something.
For spice flavor.
Spice. Oh, spite, even.
Yeah, spice or spite.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with Willow.
I feel like Willow doesn't either, so.
Yeah. No, it's like I know, but I don't at the same time. Really, by the seat of the pants.
Yeah.
In a very overly, deeply overthought kind of way. On purpose. Crazy. Thank you, by the way, Dungeon Oasis, for the raid. I don't know if any of you guys are still here, but thank you for tuning in during this hella plot drop episode. And Lost Archives, I saw self-marketing Eberron style. Dragon Load redeemed that I get hydrated, so thank you. I got some water, and then I also a quote for an unknown tome. I will find a tome presently.
I could find Tom.
Oh, I already got one. Did you want?
Let me do
We
it.
can both take one. We'll both have one. I'll also do it. So my one, and this is going to be the energy for the rest of the session probably, says... Wait, no, I always open to this this page, the It Struck Tom page of the Treasure Island. Because it's like an illustration, so it always opens there. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, chapter 18. Narrative continued by the Doctor. End of the first day's fighting.
No.
Yeah.
Welp.
Tara, what does your team
safe.
say? Please make it safe for work.
Lost your tongue, asked Basta. Shall I squeeze the boy's skinny neck again?
I don't want to die, but it's fine. You say bastard, I'm like, bastard? Bastard, son of the Winans? Is Raka gonna squeeze some fucking... Anyway,
Hello.
Hello, welcome
hi,
back, Zeke.
Zeke. How are you today?
I'm fine. I am drinking my homemade Milo. Because I couldn't find it for the
ooh.
longest time.
Nice.
Nice.
It's alright.
Milo. Oh, okay. Well, that's alright.
I'm not sure if I've, like... The recipe I used got pretty close. It's better than the first time I tried it, which I think I hadn't fully mixed it quite as much.
So just grits and milk.
So,
Milo, as
Yeah.
in the chocolate milk drink?
yeah.
Is that
It's hard to
Homemade,
find...
I believe.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
very Australian.
It's hard to... Yeah. It's hard to find it outside of... It's hard to find it in Europe, basically.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
send
make
you
sure
some.
to send you one.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go
I had to go to
go with Milo.
special import store to find the actual shit.
The good stuff, as it were.
The hard shit. Raw, uncut Milo.
Yeah.
I think Zeke has the raw uncut Milo and is making do. We have to send the commercial brand shit.
Yeah, raw uncut Milo made out of cocoa powder, sugar, and malt powder.
Malt. Yeah.
I tried to
And
Congratulations.
make a,
baking soda for
Iron
some
Man.
reason.
ah,
Ah.
I tried to make a hot chocolate once with cocoa powder, not realizing you needed to put sugar in it.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, this tastes
Oh.
bad. And then I was having a bad day, so I cried a little bit.
Imagine Luca would do that. Luca like, hot cocoa? Yeah, that's all you need is cocoa. Puts a whole fucking 2 tablespoons of cocoa and just milk and dies,
Yeah.
cries. Why does it taste
Yeah.
off? I think the milk is bad.
no.
And then
Just
I put the
need
cocoa
sugar.
back and saw that we had hot chocolate mix behind it. So
Silly goose.
Wow. That's
You're
tragic.
silly.
Well,
but that was
Little
also the
bastard.
last of the milk. So
Oh.
Everything sucks for you.
yeah, that's
Speaking of-
basically.
Shall we get back to business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like
Everything's
now would be a
to
good time to do
defeat.
that.
Edmund.
Hey.
I wish.
Nicely done. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
It is later in the day. Probably afternoon.
Yeah, so. And would probably be getting ready to go to Regalport.
Yeah, unless Willow and Luca want to talk about anything or do anything after having a few hours to process
Hmm.
the information that N has given you.
I think other than asking if Willow recognizes any of these names, expecting them to say no, Luca wouldn't have any other questions at the moment. Or anything really to say. It's not a fun conversation, really.
No.
And as far as necessary, I'm not sure if there's anything Willow feels obliged to speak about at length right now.
Yeah.
Chances are this really just kind of further proves that we need to plan very carefully if this
Mhm.
is the caliber of person that we're referring to. So I think Willow will naturally find their way back to planning the day ahead. Which means probably Willow and Luca, I can imagine, briefly discussing like if we're hitting up the studio, House Madani, and the art gallery, like who's going to go where, or the auction hall. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because of course N might have ideas, but then we can at least go to N and have like, we have thought about this. I'm not just going to show up and be like, direct us. Oh, traumatized one. Like it's just
Yeah,
We're gonna approach N with a plan of for the day, basically. They could beg to differ if they'd like. And N took fish dogs, so there's my feel better soon card. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else, so we just dally. Maybe Luca can head home early while I get ready.
Mhm.
I'd wait for you to get ready. Come with me.
It's like a few hours to blow. I feel like Willow would be like, okay.
Luca's not gonna leave right away.
Does he have a
'cause-
job to do?
Yeah. Yes.
You have a job to get back to, so I feel like it won't be long. Like Luca has to go back to men. Elsa's put a sign up. Might be good to go back.
Okay.
Give Willow a second to meta, like,
Mm-hmm.
collect themselves.
Yeah.
Make sure they're all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was mostly asking if there was anything in
Did we discuss
particular
anything?
that we wanted to
No.
show to the
No.
camera, but otherwise we will skip
No.
forward. You've all
Yep.
had a few hours to decompress and compose yourselves again, and are heading onto the ferry to Regalport.
Yeah.
To...
How is N upon first seeing them?
They seem a little less hyped up, like, now that they've done their task.
Hmm.
And they
Yeah,
mostly
we can
just
infer
seem
from
like,
context.
average.
They are less high-strung.
They
and
still seem like they're ready
have
to go on a
washed their
mission,
face.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
but they're level.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So, who is heading where?
Where would we be most useful?
Mm.
So we'll probably discuss this on the ferry.
Mhm.
Where I think Willow will think that they are most useful with regards to investigating the paint. They don't
Yeah.
really know what to make of it yet, but they will probably consider the art studio
Yeah.
Mhm.
more so. If there's
Considering
any
that as
evidence
well.
of like, yeah. So this is the art studio that Edmund had a business card for in his pocket.
Mhm.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So, and I don't know if you guys would go to House Madani, I guess,
Yeah.
or N.
And seems ready to go to House Madani.
Yeah. What you're looking
And I mean-
for is basically the Warning Guild office.
What?
More so than
Warning?
House Madani.
Yeah.
The Warning Guild, yes.
Cool.
They act as investigators of either crimes or potential plots. They
Mhm.
are not very high key.
Yeah.
In fact, it is while you know that Madani is involved by dint of the newspaper saying, yeah, these people investigated this, you don't exactly know where they are.
Oh, okay.
They have a reputation for being low key.
Also, I think, sorry, Willow might suggest to Luca, like, because he mentioned, like, what's the lay of the land, if he wants to go get the lay of outside the auction hall, since he was talking about that last session. I think Willow might suggest that he do in the same way that, like, in the same breath as you don't really need to hide. You can just openly walk around there.
Mm-hmm.
Not suspiciously, obviously, but, you know. A guy walking around Regalport, checking out the streets, that's not sus. Kai walking around, instantly sus.
He's not supposed to be seen, but if he is,
Yeah,
then
suspicious.
you're in trouble, probably.
Yeah, so I do think Willow would probably suggest like Luca towards the auction hall and towards House Madani's, wherever that is, and Willow towards the art studio, and arrange to at the end meet up at Varys's, I guess,
Works
when
for
everyone
me.
is finished.
Yeah.
I think Willow will bring that up so that we can tell him that Luca plans to join him.
Right. Oh, you're actually going, huh, Luca?
Yeah.
Fancy.
It would be a tragedy for his high princeness to not meet me.
Ah, yes, naturally.
Okay, so who are we following first, and where are we going?
Where are we going?
God. I don't know, art
How-
studio auction Madani?
Yeah. Wait, so you said that House Madani's hard to find. Do we need to then... Is investigating where the hell they are also part of it?
Yep.
Oh. So maybe we should... Wait, can N ask their
I
contacts?
feel like Ken could just go up to Vise and be like, hey, I need these people. Do you know where they are?
Yeah?
Do you reckon? N could probably ask Vise? Kai, rather.
I don't think so, actually. I think that the whole point of House Madani being hard to find is that organized crime also can't find them.
Damn, that's exactly what I am.
I understand. Well, then maybe Luca could have more help asking, be of more assistance asking, like, down at the guild. I don't know if House Madani and House Deneth have, like...
Yeah, we're good in good standing at the guilds.
Luca could ask Jarek
My best friend.
and make it seem like, what am I you know? Or it could be
What
more
the hell
upfront
does that
about, like,
mean?
I don't know, it's just Luca's unassuming routine, or he could just be as assuming as he is.
I am full of ass.
Is that an angle, Zeke?
You could certainly try.
Okay. Because I don't want to send N off to House Madani and then N comes back like, okay, first of all, where's House Madani?
And starts
3
off
hours later,
and comes
I
back.
found nothing.
Then turns around immediately and comes back like, well, where is House Madani?
Yeah,
And then
'cause
we
we
cut
should
to
probably
the guild.
help him.
I don't even know if
Shut-
Willow knows where House Madani is.
No, otherwise I would have told N already.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like Luca would literally go up and ask Yarrick point blank, "Do you know where the House Madani is hanging out?" Kind of vibes.
Okay, let's role play this out then. You
Okay.
you head to
I'm
the
staying
hole in the
outside.
port. Yeah.
actually, most of
other
the point,
people-
I might not join you if you go to the guild.
No, we'll meet up later.
Yeah, you can go to the art studio. We'll go to the... Me and Luca will go to the guild, and then we'll break off in our respective directions, assuming we're gonna find the Madani Guild headquarters.
To hell. Okay, you know what? Willow's gonna wait until you know where it is first, because
There's a nice
That's important
alley
to-
over there for you to wait in, Willow, if you'd like.
yeah,
Go
I think Willow's.
skulk in the darkness.
Mm.
I make the T-Rex
How long
arms
does
again.
Willow doesn't laugh very
you-
passionately. Eh?
Okay, so you guys, I'm taking it, do not remember that the whole of the Port Authority is in the Wavecrest Quarter, which is like, there's banks and stuff, and it is all generally very spaciously laid out. There's not a lot in the way of narrow alleys to skulk in. There might be like one or two back streets, but it's not the same way that, say, the Pirate Exchange has lots of nooks and crannies in them.
Mm.
This is
Look.
the like government and rich people district,
Yeah.
and the whole of the Port Authority is basically a castle.
There's a bush
Right.
over there.
You know what? I think Willow is going to, at least for now,
Hide in
be
plain
all
sight.
good. They are just going to be there with you guys.
They will just
They've
be
been here
normal
before.
about this.
I will be normal.
You've been
Well,
here
it was just
before.
a-
We've
here
done a
before.
whole mission with them. Like, it's fine.
Yep. Nothing has changed. We're fine. So
Yep.
yeah, Willow will just accompany you guys.
Yay! The team. What's the phrase? The dream team.
Maybe not that one. Go ahead, Luca. Butter this man up.
Fucking
So-
hey, buddy.
better.
Yeah, Willow's standing near the door, just now, not out of fear, out of cringe.
Okay, so you head into the whole of the Port Authority. You find your way to the Blade Marks Guild, the monster slaying division, and see Yarrick, probably like halfway through a sandwich.
Oh no. Does he look tired as ever?
Yes.
I love this man.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, excuse me. How can I? Oh, yeah. Hey, more work? Looking for?
Uh,
Or are you looking for
no.
more work?
You can keep eating. It's nothing so formal. I was actually wondering if you'd be able to point us in the direction of a House Madani base. We've had a bit of an incident that we would like their assistance in.
Oh, yeah, it's, he, wipes his hands on a napkin and, grabs a notepad and says, it's in one of the townhouses about, like, 2-3 blocks from here. He gives you directions quickly. Look for the this sort of house, and on the first floor there'll be an office with a magnifying glass symbol on the door. And hands it
Uh-oh.
to you.
Thank you so much.
And bounces their brows. Like, that was easy. Like, looks at Willow and bounces
Okay.
their brows.
I
Yeah,
wish you
Willow just
a
heads
long
up.
lunch.
Thanks, he says, a little confused.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy. That's the effect.
I got
So,
standing outside, like, well, that was straightforward. Bless you.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's good to be
Um,
stupid.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You get advantage on the investigation check, but you still have to investigate to find
Yes.
this building. It is actually pointedly difficult to find them. Usually, House Madani finds you.
Not this time, baby.
Good luck. Who's doing the investigating?
Not me.
I feel like eyes turn to me.
Yeah.
I do know this town. Technically, I am the one who has been leading you around Regalport.
Or I guess Ed could
Yeah.
take Fish Dog.
No, Fish Dog has to. Fish Dog has not been out.
Yeah, that's what I
Outside
figured.
They-
They've
salvage.
pocketed.
Yes. So, I think Willow.
Can I give Willow advantage on the investigation because we're all looking?
You already have.
We already have it from talking to Yarrick. So,
from
like,
Eric.
whoever has it.
I think
More.
Willow.
Who has the
Yeah, go ahead.
first investigation? Because mine
No,
is...
I think Willow's. I think for roleplay reasons, because we obviously don't have character sheets in the game. I think Willow's going to like.
Peel off.
They're going to.
Pilaf? I love Pilaf.
They're going to take initiative on saying, well then, we'll go look. Can I do a perception check just in general?
What are you looking for?
What am I looking for? This is my perception. This is my Willow steps into Regalport perception check.
Okay.
See any
My
enemies,
hyper-paranoid
then.
perception check.
familiar faces,
Yeah.
mark
Yeah.
of the storm on slutty chest.
Oh,
Oh,
damn, I wish I rolled that for the fucking investigation check!
Yeah. Well,
Hey, Willow's
Well.
paranoia nerfing me always. Anyway, what do I see around the Port Authority?
nothing.
Well, it is about business as usual. You can see that there are definitely more guards than usual, or like there is a more alert presence of security, as well as like a greater crowd of, average people trying to come and do business either on behalf of or with the High Prince now that he is in town. Ryger has taken up court, so to speak.
May I
Does he have
please
someone
also
courting him?
No.
shut up? Might I also say Willow is wearing their blue outfit? I forgot to mention they're in their low-key gear.
Incognito, one might say.
yes.
not quite,
Yeah.
but close.
Yeah. But
Just
yeah,
let me
so
make my
they-
dumb joke.
Well, at the very
Please.
least, they're going to ride that observation, that perception, to convince them that it is okay to investigate for House Madani's whereabouts.
Yes. I would say
so-
that like nobody is really paying attention to some randos. They've got
Good.
more important people to focus on.
Good.
Like
That's
his
good.
royal high princess.
Okay. Yep. Willow's going to do investigation check then, with advantage.
Yes. Yes.
Whew.
Okay.
Good.
Good thing you had advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So- Following the directions that Captain Yarrick has given you, you are able to sort of follow over to a nearby neighborhood that is mostly like townhouses.
Mhm.
And in one very unremarkable townhouse that has no special significance on the outside,
Mhm.
you are able to open a door into the courtyard and go to the first floor. And there is the door to an office that has a simple magnifying glass printed on the glass of that door, and a small list of names that seem to be various people who work at the office printed on the side. You skim over that, and among that list is the name Brina Medani.
Should that ring any bells?
It's the surname Medani.
Yes.
Oh, right.
The one that we were looking for.
No, I know.
Okay,
I
just
was meaning
making
Brina.
sure.
I was meaning Brina.
No.
yeah, okay,
not
makes
in
sense.
particular.
Okay. Well,
look
yes,
at the others
found
like,
what
that
we
was
were looking
easy.
for.
Could have been harder.
I would say that, like, if you didn't have directions,
Yes.
this would be a lot more like all of these townhouses look kind of the same.
Willow looks at Luca when he says, "This was easy," with that wry face of, "Was it?" As the person who led you here, was it? Anyway,
technically
Willow's also
was.
looking like they might peel off from
Yep.
this, but in the sense of like, well, I think I might leave this to you two. Gift of the gab is not necessarily mine, so.
He can teach you. Smack them on the shoulder.
You may have more success elsewhere.
Well, all the best.
Yep. Don't go looking any paintings.
I'll try my best. Is there any reason why Willow should stay? Is any immediate reason? Not really, eh? It feels mostly like chatting.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Willow's going to make themselves scarce. Sparse. Scarce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Sparse
walk,
means
off.
like balding.
yeah. And walk bloody tensely back down that area
Mm-hmm.
on their own.
Cool. So we resume with Anne and Luca
Yeah, Anne was
outside
gonna.
the office of the Warding Guild.
Yeah, Anne was gonna go in there alone. So
Yeah. I'll leave this to you, oh smooth talking criminal.
I'll let you know about the disaster later then.
Just don't bring up eggs. It doesn't work.
Depends how you use them.
Just throw them at the people and then run away.
Mm-hmm. You'd be amazed at how effective that is.
All right. I'll let you be.
And
So,
give a little salute and
interesting.
I believe in you.
Yes. So, you enter the office, and there is a young human girl. Well, like, not young, but like a young adult. Human woman at the front desk who appears to be the receptionist or secretary.
yes, okay. And we'll go up to the desk. Hey, I'm looking for a missing person.
Sure. What's your name and what's the name of the person?
My name is Audrey. See, this is where it gets tricky. We met someone, me and a friend of mine, a couple weeks ago, and we were supposed to meet up again just the other day, but, they haven't shown up anywhere, and they were supposed to be staying. Do you know the birth?
She nods. Yeah, I think I've heard that name before.
Yeah, well, I think something happened there. And we haven't seen them since, and my friend was much closer to them than I was, and they've just been beside themselves with worry, and I just thought I'd try and find them and hope they weren't the person that died there?
You don't have a name then?
We just met them a few weeks ago, and like hold their hand over their eye patch. My memory just hasn't been what it used to be since the accident.
Okay, well, do you have a description then?
Did we get any information like of at least like pronouns, or was it just they?
I think it was a human man.
Yeah.
Let me check my notes real quick.
But there was no other
Specific.
A veteran of the last war? Not necessarily
Yes.
looks.
Yeah. Well, he was a human man. He talked about being a soldier. And it's like rubbing their brow, like they're really racking their brain for this.
Okay, make a deception check.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Oh!
Okay. Let's see.
Nicely played, you sneaky little bastard.
Okay. She said, does the name Kelson sound right?
Oh, Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, well, it seems that it... Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, the name of the man who was found dead at the birth is Kay Kelson.
Oh. And, like, kind of sinks against the desk.
Sorry.
Don't kill the messenger, right? And flashes her, like, a tired smile. Do you know what happened?
Well, I can... Do you really want to know the details of that? I mean...
I think it would bring me and my friends some peace.
Make a persuasion check. Okay. She sighs and says, well, hope this doesn't haunt you. And,
Thank you.
gives a little moment. What did you say your name was again?
Audrey Whistler.
Okay. And she makes a note. You can see that, like, she's been taking notes, under the desk. Or, like, behind the counter, of your, like, name and description.
Yep.
And she says, just a moment. Goes to the back office and returns a few minutes later with a manila folder that has a few sheets of paper in it. Okay, so it says that he was likely how do I put this? He likely overdosed on a mixture of substances and probably got his lungs to stop working and he choked basically to death.
Oh, that's awful. What an awful way to go.
So, yeah, there are worse. He was most likely unconscious by the time that happened, so.
Oh, that's a relief. I didn't know he was in such a state. Do we have any idea what the mixture was?
Well, it looks like the official report says combination of alcohol, pain medication, dream lily, trace toxins, and things that you might expect from living in a pretty rundown part of town.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I can't tell you much more about it. But it looks like he'd been dead for at least 4 days before the body was discovered.
It's awful. But thank you. This will really bring peace to me and my friend. He didn't seem to be in the best state, and just, it's a shame that we didn't get to him soon enough, you know?
Make another deception check.
Oof. Can I ask? Oh, damn, maybe too late. If N would ask about whether he has any, like, family or anything that's been contacted.
Yeah, that might come next.
Yeah.
Yo!
Defending. Oof, baby.
That's my little criminal.
I have to send a screenshot now.
No. Did you
Oh.
fucking match that?
Oh.
Oh.
I did.
Wow.
Shit. Oh.
When did you say you met Mr. Kelson?
A few weeks ago.
Before he died, I assume.
Yes. And it's like makes a dog expression.
All right then. Well, is there anything else I could do for you?
I assume you contacted any known family at this point.
Of course.
Good.
It was part of the inquest.
Of course. Oh, it sounds like you're on top of it then. Thank you for the information. It really is helpful.
She nods. Well, happy to help. I hope you have a pleasant day then.
You as well. And
And
Blue,
you leave.
take a step out.
Fuck!
Oh,
Shit.
that was-
You. That little bit at the
I
end
can't
there.
The fact that you
What?
both rolled 24, that is such a high roll for
That's
us babies.
huge. Because Zeke got a nat 20.
Yeah.
Christ. Oh man, just that little bit of danger at the end there. Good lord.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I love
Stress.
I will
Yeah,
make
me
a
too.
note of this.
Oh, doodah. Doodah. I will remember this. What was this receptionist's name? I hate her vibe.
Her name was Celia.
Celia.
it. Oh,
Cool. Who next?
like rock, paper, scissors.
I was just gonna say Luca.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Okay.
Well,
Luca?
I would like to casually wander over to the auction house, and I would like to map out the area around it, like at least 3 streets wide on either side.
Okay. I think this would be a survival check.
Oh.
That's stealth.
No, oh! Can I just take it with the?
Ah.
Can you take off the 1 and give me the 15?
Sure.
Yes.
Change your name, by the way.
Oh, sorry, my computer died.
It's okay.
Okay, and I would like to see if there's like a taxi area nearby.
Yeah, so horse-drawn cabs are relatively common around Regalport in the sections that aren't just like pure pedestrian parts. The Grand Auction Hall is quite a big building with it probably does have like a taxi bank, since people come and go here pretty often.
Okay. What's the vibe of the people chilling in the taxi bank, if there are any?
The vibe of the people chilling in the taxi bank is cab drivers waiting for
Hey, that
customers.
my father is a cab driver, so that's a very loaded statement. So
Yes, sorry. Your father is there in Eberron, is what we're saying, obviously. No.
run him over
No,
with a fucking
that-
horse.
that ambience, was it like
People on
is it
smoke
buffering
break
vibe?
waiting for customers,
Yeah.
hoping to catch somebody's eye, and like
Do they look like they would be willing to accept money to ignore a fare? What's the
make
average
an
cost?
insight check?
What's the average cost of like a trip?
How do you visually
Uh,
suss out whether someone is bribable?
You can tell, you know?
Throw them money and see how they react.
Yeah. Just spill all my
money on the
money
floor.
onto the floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
How desperate are those eyes?
That's so sad.
I was going to say it was more along the lines of like people who seem like they would I would say people who perhaps gamble seem easily bribable.
Yeah. Wait, no, I had an actual question and now it's gone.
Oh.
How expensive is a trip?
Yes, please. Like, what is the
It's-
most expensive a trip would be in this area?
Okay, well, it's a copper piece per mile. So, and then if you were taking the cab out of town, it's 3 per mile. So, I
Say, like, from here to the border of town, the furthest place you could go.
probably like 2 silver, maybe.
So yes, 1 gold is much more tasty than the best fare they could probably be offered on average.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I wonder if.
And what's the vibe of the auction hall other than grand? Can I see anything inside?
Well, there are banners painted to advertise the new Corvair gallery opening in a
Yeah.
few days. Currently, most of the auction hall seems closed, except for like the little bits at the front of house that are like still operating actual auctions. Like, it's a big building. There are a lot of tall windows to allow a lot of light in.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively busy right now, in the sense of like it is afternoon. There's like probably 1 or 2 small estate auctions or like things that regularly go on auction here. It's not fish auction, I will say that much. It's not any perishable goods. But it's stuff like
Like an estate
trade
auction,
goods. Yeah,
like stuff.
yeah. So perhaps horses or other livestock or lumber or what have you. You know, things that people will compete over.
Okay. Is there anyone handing out like flyers? Like, you know, how you have someone stand outside and they try to push their flyers on you?
Nope.
Okay. And is the entrance like opened for people to walk into?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
there are, you can walk into the front of house. Obviously, sections of it are closed off.
Yep.
But you can sort of wander in and, like, go along the side, see a few of the rooms where there's, like, a room full of maybe, like, 15, 20 odd people sitting down, making quiet bids on horses or livestock of some kind, or perhaps you go in a little further and you see some stuff about like weaponry, swords, a ship maybe, or like a fishing boat,
Okay.
that sort of thing. Big ticket items that are not easy to just like sell on a street.
Yeah. I can't recall. So the preview time is invite only, correct?
Yes.
How would one go about getting an invite?
Either you are invited by reputation of having a lot of money and interest in buying these things, so you have to have like the reputation of an art collector, perhaps.
Mhm.
Or you pay a significant fee
Okay.
to get a ticket
How
to
much
attend.
is the fee?
I'm
for
gonna say,
like, curiosity's
Yeah.
sake.
I'm gonna say that the fee to just attend the auction night is probably like 25 gold per person, at least. So that's not cheap.
Steep.
Yeah.
But luckily, someone has a little conversation to have with certain someone before we get there. Maybe, I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
And just like as a casual observation, security seems pretty good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Make a perception check to see if you can see how good it is exactly.
Perception. There we go.
Mm.
Hey, not too bad.
Hey. So, in addition to the like staff that are clearly openly security standing around, you also, in between sort of doors and along the corridor, you can tell that there is like the faint shimmer that Willow has pointed out of like alarm spells and other magical protections.
Okay.
It's the magical equivalent of like security cameras and metal detectors and that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's obviously not like actual metal detectors because, yeah. But it's the sort of thing, you know, anti-theft precautions.
Yeah. Was there anything else you two would have told me to keep an eye on or anything?
I think you've been pretty thorough from memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
like,
also-
things like where the cab pulls up and stuff like that, but you just did that, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to see if I could find like an upscale apothecary and go in to inquire about the cost of sleeping potions.
Okay. Yeah, make
Smart.
me give me a persuasion check to ask around in the neighborhood.
Persuasion. Oh, come on.
Mhm.
Everybody is a little bit too busy to
Aw.
deal with you right now. So as we leave the camera lingering on Luca trying to be like, excuse me, could I...
Oh, honey.
Can I just trouble you for a moment of your... I don't mean to be a hindrance, but...
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior? You're the very blood within you.
Oh, God.
No, man.
You just get a lot of, I'm not buying. I'm busy.
No,
Or like
I'm
the
buying.
quiet, the quiet hand wave of like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Hi.
while we leave Luca hanging for a moment
Poor thing.
to suffer the consequences of that 7, for a little bit at least, let's cut over to Willow. You're going to the Gilded Brush.
I am. Where is the Gilded Brush? Like, what part of town is it in?
I believe it is in the Quayside Court, So the
Right.
entertainment district.
Yeah, I think Willow's like... I imagine on the walk out of the Port Authority, you know that like 20 is like, it's
Mhm.
good. They know that there's no one there, but at the same time, there are also like nat 20 levels of perceiving always. Like, I feel like they are just
Mhm.
like zoomed into everything. So
Yeah.
I do imagine that while they are trying to fight the urge to, they might end up ducking away, and before they like change over from like
Mhm.
one district to another, they're probably going to throw up their disguise
Mhm.
self.
Mhm.
I don't know how. That's an immediate thing, yeah, because I'm exhausting a spell.
Yes.
Yeah.
You use a
So,
spell
yeah, they-
slot.
They use
Cast
a spell
disguise
slot
self
to
on
use.
your. Yeah.
And
What's your disguise?
It is again kind of Willow slightly to the left, but I imagine
Mhm.
like in this case they have made themselves look like a local, not in particularly striking in any way. I imagine that they've like
Mhm.
darkened their hair. They've gotten rid of their shifter features for now, so they're
Mhm.
just that they're not identifiably shifter.
Mhm.
And
Human or
human,
something
yeah,
else.
human, still
Okay.
kind of darker skinned, but like I feel like if you didn't know Willow immediately, like you wouldn't look at this
Yeah.
person and go, "Oh, Willow Jenkins." It's just be like, especially because they've lost like their shifter qualities.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
like made your hair brown and
Yeah.
like a flat brown, dark skin,
Yeah. Muted clothes.
human.
Like not,
Yeah.
yeah, human.
Turn down the
maybe-
saturation.
Yeah. Slightly shorter, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I imagine Willow might make their glasses. Can Willow change their glasses?
Yeah. It's an illusion. It's
Yeah.
like a full illusion.
God, they could give themselves eyes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
part of it.
I'm not ready to deal with that. No, you know what? I don't think Willow wants to look in a reflection and see that though. So I think they're going to
Yeah.
stick with the sunglasses, but maybe just a different
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, I would say they are arguably not Willow looking.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even look related to Willow. They just look skewed off. So hell, they might even take on Cat's jacket for this look, just for the vibes. And yeah, they're probably
You
gonna
change
head to the
from a
Gilded.
blue shirt to a green jacket.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Woo. Yeah, Willow's going to head to the Gilded Brush.
Mm-hmm. The Gilded Brush.
Yep.
So it is a little artist studio, sort of tucked between buildings. I think I want to say there's like a pub and like maybe a trinket shop or something like that, and then there's the artist studio sort of wedged between. It's one of those narrow buildings that is like deeper than it is wide. There are some example portraits in the window display. The style of art is, I would describe it as court painting style portraits. So, for example, there's like an artist's imagining portrait of Queen Lazar, or like a portrait of some not very grand captain standing on a ship or in front of a ship. That sort of stuff. It's that style of like, look at my wealth portrait.
Well, I was going to ask why Edmund has this business
person.
card. Yes. Okay. So this is an art studio that sells art? Or
Yes,
is it like a
an
space for people to do art? Or both?
It is both. It is a studio for artists who do commission. It is like it's the equivalent of like an illustration agency, but you know, court painting.
Yeah.
So further in the back of this building, it's not like there's not that much separation between the front and the back of the house. Like there's maybe a half wall or some sort of partition. But it's clearly like this is a studio. There are windows everywhere and like bits of mirror to reflect as much natural light indoors so that people can paint adequately. Save money on candles and whatnot. Lighting. And there seems to be an old dwarven man with a very sort of tightly braided beard that has like maybe a few paintbrushes tucked in it as like a tool holder.
Oh, sick. Cool guy.
With thick spectacles, like a balding head and little wisps of white, very snowy white beard that is like very tightly braided around his chin into this sort of tool holding position. Who's clearly like tinkering with an oil painting in the back. There is a little sign at the front desk with a bell that says rates for portrait commission. It's not cheap, but
Nice.
it's not outlandishly expensive, let's say.
Can I take a look before speaking to this person at all? Can I just take a look around the room, like if
Yeah.
there's, say, the two things I guess Willow would look for first: is there a portrait of Edmund, and is there anything that is just like red? Hello, red, or anything else to catch their eye.
Make a
So just-
perception check or an investigation check, whichever you think is more appropriate for the situation. Are you just looking around, as in like just looking, or are you poking around?
If there is a dude here, Willow will poke around until it's clear that, like, he's facing his back, yeah?
Yes.
Willow will poke then.
Okay.
I mean, you can, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah. Investigation check then. Nice. So, you peer around. There is no portrait of Edmund Beckett. Even like if you like crane your neck, it doesn't look like there's one that's being painted currently.
Hmm.
In the back room or anything.
Hmm.
There. I'm not going to say there's nothing hella red. There's definitely the vermilion paint that you can spot from a distance, or like in the shelves. That is not that surprising. There's nothing that's like pure vermilion, I will say, though. It's always a color that's been mixed in, or it's like an accent color, or it's like somebody is wearing a particularly bright red ascot or coat or hat or something like that.
Okay, Willow might, if there's nothing else to observe in the room that will catch their eyes or nose.
Nope. It smells a bit like turpentine in here, but that's to be expected.
Willow's probably going to clear their throats and excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry. I'll be right there. The dwarven man sort of cleans off his brushes and sets some of the ones that he was using down on the easel. Hello. Yes. What can I do for you?
I don't mean to interrupt. I was just actually curious about your studio.
Yes. Are you looking to commission a portrait, or perhaps recommend us?
Maybe. I'm actually quite new around here. I'm not entirely sure yet what I want. All I know is that I'm in town for art, and this is an art studio, so.
Make a deception check.
I believe in you! Fuck's sake, I don't believe in me.
I was wrong to believe.
He gives you a very skeptical look. Like, there's no need to be dishonest if you're...
Okay. I'll
You
be.
clearly know your way around Regalport.
I know. Sorry. Just like a full-bodied sag of like, yeah, I know. Well, then I suppose I'll cut right to the chase. I'm curious. Have you painted anything for the gallery?
Myself? No. Wait, which gallery are we talking about here?
The big one that's opening soon. New Corvette.
Oh, the auction hall pieces. No, not myself, but I think one or two of our younger artists that we have on retainer might have created something or other. Nothing officially from the studio, I would say. I think it's all personal work, but
that of interest to you?
Well, it's all fine and good, but that kind of art isn't really my trade, you understand.
So someone would come here for Willow gestures fancy portraits?
Yes. Yes, we do good work for portraits. In fact, I had the honor of painting the High Prince himself in front of his fleet ship, the Dragon Eyes, for the 5th anniversary of his reign.
Wow. Willow's not lying. Okay. Huh. Do you have any... Where is that kept?
Oh, that would be hanging up in the Hall of the Port Authority.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was an honor, and the High Prince sits very well for portraits. Magnificent ship too. Great work. Well, yes.
Willow's back to looking around the room. Did we discuss anything prior? Or is Willow just here?
And was
I'm
literally just
asking,
gonna
did we
look
discuss
around.
anything on the ferry? Just in the
Yeah,
ferry,
just-
yeah.
Yeah, just see
See
what
if
kind
there
of
were
place
any
it was.
vibes.
And
Yeah,
such.
cool. I think Willow's
Like, does
gonna
it
muse
seem like
themselves.
they're trafficking humans to use in experiments, or
You know, just
I'm
casual
gonna say
shit.
on a 24, absolutely not. This seems
No, this is
completely
just studio.
normal.
Yeah, Willow's probably gonna say you have some higher ticket commissioners then.
Yeah. We do quite reasonable rates. And obviously, depending on the complexity of the portrait. For example, if it is a simple bust, that will be much less pricey than, say, a full body with hands in complicated places or gestures.
you can hear Luca in the back of your mind saying, maybe just find out how much it costs in case Luca would like a portrait done of himself. Like, you know.
Willow saw the pricing at the front, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow
Good.
was thinking of that. Don't worry about it.
Are you going to get a bust of yourself to hang up in your ship like a good captain?
Please.
Just get this really super detailed, expensive portrait of Fish Dog.
Absolutely. Or the elemental. You can hang it on the elemental's door.
Wait, okay, Willow's going to talk to him again and say, what's your, what happens if it's for someone out of town?
Well, that does make things more complicated. I mean, if you have a pre-existing sketch, perhaps we could work from that, but obviously, to paint a portrait, you need a portrait sitter.
Of course.
One could schedule in advance.
What does your week ahead look like?
Well, about normal. He sort of takes out a ledger and leafs through. Yeah, I have a. Yeah. He says, like, does it need to be in the next week or?
Sorry, what's the date today? The
13th.
The 13th of.
And the auction is on the 18th?
Yes.
So yeah, Willow's going to say before the 18th, ideally. But also they're going to try
That
and...
is a little bit short notice, though. I can try and, I know some of my apprentices here have, time on their hands. I could arrange for them to do the underpainting if you're willing to, or your client is willing to sit for a few hours. On the... he muses through. Let's say the 16th?
So that means that the other days are...
Mostly busy, yes.
Can I... is this a ledger that has names written on it, like when you make appointments at a place?
Yeah.
Like lots of names?
Yeah.
Can I suss out a look?
Make a perception check. Ooh. I think you peer over and you see not on the page of upcoming portraits, but ones that were already done. The the name T. Elham.
Oh, okay.
That's what you get on a 21. All the other names you don't really recognize. Like maybe you spot a law in there.
Oh, poor Henderson. Here's my post-peak portrait. Okay, no Beckett's, no Edmonds, but
Nope.
Elham, and already gotten done.
Yes. That was like in an appointment that has like since passed.
Okay, Willow's probably going to take that. Oh, sorry to pry. Is that T. Elham as in... Willow makes gestures. Playwright?
The dwarven man says, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is confidential, but I believe so, yes."
That's exciting. Another one for your big long list of very cool people.
Yes, are you a fan of the theater?
Yeah. I don't get to go very often, but I'd like to.
It is worthwhile. I've heard it is Elham, that is the folly, I believe. Yes?
I believe so.
Quite a daring piece or so, I hear. A fabulous production, apparently.
You haven't seen it?
Oh, no, it's I'm far too busy for that sort of diversion, I'm afraid, and frankly, I am I've been somewhat out of the loop regarding the goings-on of the continent for the past century or so.
We all...
What was he doing?
Painting.
Valid.
He's a dwarf. He's a dwarf, and he's like probably like 400 years old.
Yeah.
So valid.
It's like, yeah, there's been a war going on for the past like century, and it's like, oh, really? Well, that's
Have you
awful.
seen my comic?
But
I'm
yeah,
busy.
no, that's fair. Also, Regalport is out of the way of most of the inland fighting, so they don't really have to pay attention to it. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
we are, as someone once said, about as far away from the front lines as you can be.
Yep. Okay. Willow's going to nod, and they're sort of like apologetic for prying, but oh well, they played it off decently well.
Yeah.
They also sound a bit like there's a way that they just said that, but don't worry about it. Well, I'll keep you in mind.
Oh, thank you.
I won't make an appointment yet, but at least I know that you're free on the 16th. And you very esteemed.
Good art takes time. Good art takes time.
Of course.
And it will last decades, if not centuries. It is quite the piece of legacy to leave behind. So by all means, take your time in considering.
Okay. Willow's going to nod, and I think they're going to amble out, and then sort of closer to the door, they might...
Mm-hmm.
Look, this man's given off a very unassuming vibe. He also respects confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
I think, before I go,
Mm-hmm.
do you know a man by the name of Edmund Beckett?
I can't say that I do.
I'm insight checking him at the same time, might as well.
Yeah.
No notes of recognition?
Nope.
Do they have any business cards here?
Yeah.
Of like
They
with
have
the
some-
artists' names on them? The other artists?
I think there are. I think it's just the business cards are just the studio with the address.
Don't you already have one of the business cards? From
Yeah. No, we've looked
Edmund?
at it, but we don't have it. I was just, you know how you get to places sometimes they
right,
have,
yeah.
like, this is that artist, the apprentice that works here.
Yeah.
Willow would probably have asked before that then, who do I look out for at the gallery, as in who are your apprentices? What are their names?
I think he gives you a handful of names. I don't have them all at hand right now.
Yep.
So this is where I would pull up my list of NPC cameos, except that it's all fucking elves.
God
no,
damn.
that's fine. You can also give them to me later, but just know that Willow
Yeah.
asked for the apprentices
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
can keep an eye
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
for familiar
I'll
names.
say that you get like a handful of names.
Yeah.
From Dwarf Man, whose name I already forgot.
We didn't mention it because you didn't ask. His name is Gadroon.
Sorry. Gadroon?
Yeah,
Aw. Okay, sorry that Willow didn't ask.
Mr.
Um,
Gadroon.
Yes, well, after the Edmund thing, since that was just a random question, I think Willow will be like, well, nice to meet you, sir.
Gadroon.
Mr.
Gadroon.
Gadroon. Hi. Well, nice to meet you, and I'll get back to you when I can, if I can.
Yes. You have a nice day
Thanks.
then.
You as well.
He
Happy
returns
painting.
to his painting. Yes.
Okay. Willow leaves there. They got a little bit of a headache from that conversation, and probably from the terps in there.
Yeah.
Mm.
But,
It is quite. Yeah, the turpentine was definitely the strongest smell there.
Yeah. And the brief conversation about the folly. I feel like the folly naturally gives Willow a headache. But yeah, otherwise I think from here they're just going to go to... Do I have anything else to do? There's the antiquities
don't-
shop, but I don't think there's
Yeah.
going to be anything there. It's just Willow would know what antiquity shops have in them. Willow knows.
antiques.
Antiques.
Shall we cut back to N then?
Yep.
So, and obviously you discard your temporary mask of
Yeah.
whatever face you had Audrey wear at the time.
Yeah, I believe
Um,
in like small retcon. I think N would have used a different name. I just didn't prepare one earlier, and then I realized on the fly that N would have prepared a different name than Audrey to use there, as well as like anime background guy number 12 appearance.
Yeah.
To take into.
Yeah.
Hey, both of us have anime background guy number 12 appearance.
Yeah.
I just have sunglasses.
And the name N would have used instead of Audrey Whistler is Hesper Ashdown.
Okay.
Espa Ashdown.
Yes.
Sexy.
Nice
Oh,
name.
yeah.
Yes, that is what I've had in my back pocket, and I forgot about until just now. So slight retcon,
Okay.
but everything else is the same. Still sus.
Okay.
Very much seems in character for N to be like
Yeah.
prepared in the same way that Willow's like done the same.
Exactly. It just fell
Yep.
off my brain
Yeah.
at the time.
That's
But
fair.
nothing else changes except, yeah.
Yeah.
But N, I think, is done because we can't visit the grand auction hall yet because it's not open, at least not without, like, getting in the way, essentially. So Ed will just head on
Mhm.
back to, well, not back, but to the Greenleaf residence, since that's where we decided to meet.
So you're not going to the Antiquities dealer as the
I mean, if it's like,
third place.
can I weave by it and just like look at it? Take the long way
Yeah,
around?
It looks
Is
like
it near me?
trafficking.
I
Like-
believe that the Morrowdale Antiquities is at the Pirate Exchange, and you walk through the Pirate Exchange to get to the
Cool.
Forester's End, which is where the Greenleaf
Yeah.
residence is.
I'll take...
Greenleaf residence.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I might take the long way around and just like look at it, because N also doesn't
Okay.
think there's much there, but N would like to see what
Mhm.
it deals in.
Okay. There's also the tailor shop if anybody's going
Yeah.
there.
Where is that? Because if it's in the Quayside Court, then Willow would like. If we're all looking at 2 places each, Willow would look at 2 places. Because maybe I can check out the
The-
tailor then, and you check out
The tailor's is actually in the Wavecrest Quarter, which is where the whole of the Port Authority is.
Oh, so maybe you should go to the tailor and I go to the.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am more
Willow's-
experienced with clothes, and Willow is more experienced with antiquities, probably, so that's
Yeah.
fair.
No,
Yeah,
you know what? Good
makes
point.
sense.
Yeah, I go
Yeah.
antiquities.
Makes sense.
Willow's fucking high strung though, going back into the pirate exchange. I just imagine the crowds are like much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they are still in outfit, and they will be in this outfit for the next hour. So
Yep.
Yes.
unless something breaks their concentration, I believe. So.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's another thing. My bad.
It just
Okay,
lasts for an hour.
Nice. Yay.
Cool.
Magic.
So, and you. Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
You dip
Oh, it's
by
contagious.
the
Excuse
Messrs. Bindle and Based Sartori, which is a boutique tailor's establishment in the Wavecrest Quarter. It clearly specializes in menswear, and the items on display are fashionable things from the western side of Corvair. You would guess perhaps Ondare and Brayland.
Right. Makes sense.
Great.
Can I tell at all if there's any, does this tailor do any enchantments with clothing, or is it just cloth?
I think they probably work with they can probably do shift weave.
Right.
And glamour weave type things. So they work with enchanted cloth, but they perhaps don't do the enchanting themselves.
Makes sense. Okay.
So it's not like it's I would say common in terms of like magical prowess
Yeah,
enchantment, but it's still like expensive.
absolutely. Yeah,
So yeah.
I think En just is gonna like look around, but not draw any attention to themselves.
Are they going inside the store?
They might put on a different face and like just go inside and look at things.
Okay.
Just another throwaway.
Yeah. Another anime guy.
Yeah,
Number 12.
number 14 this time.
Of course.
Without the eye patch, because 12 has an eye patch, but this one doesn't.
Yes. So you have a brief look around. It looks like they have a few suit styles on display, but nothing to buy off the rack. It's all like bespoke made.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense for a rich bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And like pointedly drops one of the sleeves on display. Like was looking at it and like examining the cloth and the embroidery and then just lets it drop.
Mm-hmm.
Mildly
Yuck.
aggressive gesture.
The disdain.
Yeah.
You looking for anything in particular, or just
I think just looking like one part of seeing what
window
kind of
shopping.
seeing what kind of cloth they use is like, what would be Edmund be wearing? Can he change it? Would he be able to like change it on the fly?
Is
That
it
kind of stuff.
bulletproof? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Just how
It's
magical?
definitely not bulletproof.
How
on
magical
account
are we
of-
dealing?
It's not bulletproof on account of I don't think bullets are really a thing in Eberron.
Is it fireproof? Riddle me this. Is it very flammable? Is it the opposite?
Is it end proof?
Nothing's end proof.
Can't say.
Fair enough. I'm not about to set one of these coats on fire to find out, so we'll just assume it's fabric. Yeah, but I think Ed is just essentially like trying to suss out if Edmund got a suit tailored here, what would that suit be capable of, essentially.
It would be a normal but very nicely made suit.
Okay, cool.
Dickhead.
No special enchantments, no like glamored armor or anything fancy.
No, this is It
Some
seems like
guy's
they
clothes.
do explicitly clothing. They might lean towards more of the wizardy fashion of Ondair,
Right.
which is definitely not armor.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, I
As
think
opposed to say like a suit tailor's that was like Karnath adjacent would
Right.
be more like
wear your armor to the
here is
ballroom.
some decorative. Yeah, exactly. That is very Karnath of
Mhm.
them.
Yeah. So, yeah, En's just doing a quick look around for that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah.
In which case you are able to move along. We'll cut back to Willow. Investigating the Morrowdale antiquities.
Yes.
It is a modest parlor. It doesn't have a display window. The front of house windows are curtained.
Mm.
But there is a gilded sign proclaiming the name Morrowdale Antiquities over the top.
Mhm.
Are you going inside or just...
Yeah, might as well. I think Willow goes in partly to escape the street as well.
Yeah. So you enter inside and immediately it is like everything, all the noise has been muffled.
Oh.
This modest parlor room is very well kept and clean. You know how Malachi's is like a fucking raven's nest of
Yeah.
stuff piled on stuff piled on stuff? This is the opposite. It is
Right.
clean. It is quiet. It smells of like some fresh flowers, perhaps, that have been cut and placed in a vase somewhere, lit by gentle magical lighting to preserve any of the pieces, spare them from sun damage or what have you. And most things here are kept in glass cabinets.
Wow.
So-
Okay. It's high end then, I assume, or at
Yes.
least fragile.
It is very well cared for. You can see things like, so even though there are bookshelves, there's like a glass door in front of it with a little lock on it.
Hmm.
And an elderly elven woman is at the back of the sort of storefront, positioned in such a way that she can definitely see the door and like see anybody walking around quite easily.
Hmm.
I would say elegant, very long ears, silver hair, wizened at the edges, but still very elegant. If you can imagine a very old ballerina.
Hmm.
That's the energy that this woman has. The various antiquities on display here are like some paintings, some art objects, so like little figurines or sculptures, or decorated items, such as a goblet or a drinking horn, that sort of thing. There are a few old books and jewelry.
Hmm.
It is all like carefully tucked away and categorized. There are no price tags on anything, I think. I think it's all for prices, please inquire.
Right.
Signage.
Never a good sign.
Yeah.
Malachi's place like $3 for $2. Like this place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I imagine Willow walks in that way of like just to get away from the street, and then there's that genuine like, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is interesting, and then oh, I'm here because of Edmund. Like that train of thought crosses on their
Yeah.
face, on this new Willow, off Willow
Yeah.
face, Billow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick question: you guys, N told us that Edmund Beckett was a like
Yeah. Art dealer and
Art-
philanthropist.
dealer, and like,
Yep.
did you guys use the word like recruiter or something?
Sponsor.
Yeah,
Would
it
be
the
word.
sponsors talent for House V. Arlen.
Right, because okay.
Training under House V. Arlen.
Well, I feel like what Zeke just mentioned was like my perception check. That's pretty much stuff. Can I ever look just for Willow purposes, for window shopping purposes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a perception check.
Is Willow gonna buy some antiques for their boat?
Honestly,
Maybe.
Okay, what kind of things is Willow interested in?
laughs. I think the kinds of things that would catch their eye are like Siren things.
Okay.
Interesting books that look like they might hold interesting secrets, or like stuff that they don't know what it is.
Okay.
Like they'll gloss over all the candles and all that shit, but like they will be interested in like, what the hell is that kind of stuff.
I think you find a couple pieces stand out to you that are of interest. And I'm making these off the top of my head.
Yeah.
One I'm going to say is a very elaborate sextant. So the kind to take astronomical measurements or nautical measurements at sea, that is made of it's like gilded with sort of an extra astrolabe on it. It's like golden ivory, basically.
Shit.
Maybe bits of amber, bits of carmine to mark certain indicators. It is like gorgeous, gorgeously made. You look at it and you think about it for a minute. This is a display item. I don't think it would be that useful. You would be so afraid of dropping it. Another thing is perhaps a Siren made, or like in the style of Siren made items, that is a little calendar that is basically like a globe that you turn, and it sort of calculates the position of the sun and the various moons. And directions of winds and stuff. So it's like this little elaborate mechanical globe that you can turn to adjust the day and year, and it will sort out the positions of various things.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. I will also say there is an antique calculator, which is like for our reference, it's about the size of a laptop, but round, like a big disc of brass with buttons of various numerals, and it's like a round typewriter sort of thing that functions as a calculator. This is inspired by the antique calculator that I saw in the museum recently.
Nice.
Sick.
So
Alright.
I'm gonna say those are the items that like especially stand out to Willow.
Yeah.
The books seem to be mostly like religious texts, or cultural significant texts. So say like and if you can imagine a medieval illustrated or like illuminated manuscript of say the Odyssey, that sort of style of book.
Man, very cool.
Yeah.
What is the vibe of, like, is the lady all good with me just like walking around? Is she going to?
I think she is keeping a very close eye on you. I imagine Willow is keeping their hands to themselves. They're not like actually touching the glass or anything.
Their hand might drift to that Siren-made calendar globe, just like out of instinct.
It is behind Klein glass cabinetry. So
Yeah.
I think
You know that instinct when you reach towards like a fish tank, even though you know you shouldn't. Or maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I mean, I think if you get a little too close, she will clear her throat.
Willow will probably say sorry, but also use that as incentive. May I ask how much this is going for?
The globe, yes.
Yes, please.
She walks up to it and says, "What is your interest in the piece?" And you can see she is looking you over very keenly and very judgmentally.
Yeah, I feel that. Willow's like, is it shallow to say I think it's pretty?
Not shallow, I suppose. It is an inherently beautiful piece. But I can't imagine you have any use for it.
Well, what use do people usually have for this?
It is a calendar.
Do I not have days in my year?
I doubt that you need something so sophisticated as to keep track of the movement of heavens, unless you are, of course, an astronomer. But you do not seem the type. And if you are, my apologies, but these goods are not for sale for one so wet behind the ears as yourself.
My ears are so big
Pocket it
too.
and run.
I feel like Willow's just given such a look. It's like a flat expression, but like a very like. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, Willow's gonna straighten up. Then maybe I can cut straight to the chase. I'm actually looking to appeal to someone very wealthy who loves stuff like this. Sorry, priceless artifacts such as these. And I was wondering if maybe you were familiar with someone named Edmund Beckett, as I, in my slovenly, dry behind the ears state, am trying to appeal to him so that I can become, I don't know, a superstar one day, and one day afford something like this, maybe. Willow gives a very flat expression after.
I think she does a little indignant. Well, I'm afraid to say I am not familiar with the name of Edmund Beckett.
Insight checking you.
Alright. She's not lying, but also, this woman is probably like close to 600 years old, if not older. She is an elderly elf. Anybody less than, I would say, 400 years old is probably a baby to her.
That's fine. She doesn't have to be rude about it, though.
Elsa's nice,
Yeah, Elsa is a half-elf. This is a full-blooded elf.
but Elsa's an elder.
So she has to be rude. Like, I feel like she's just.
Look, I
Willow's
don't know what to tell you. You
Look at
walked
this
into a
fucking
really
place.
fancy antiquities
This is why Anne
store.
wants to kill you.
not elves, rich people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, okay, you know what? Willow's whatever. Oh,
Who
okay,
just
well,
happen to
that's-
be elves.
Yeah, no, Willow's going to say it. But I am very curious. How much does this go for?
More than you could afford, and I am not
Willow's
willing
going to
for
pull
to...
the platinum out of their pocket at this stage. How much does this go for?
I am not swayed solely by coin. If I am going
What
to
sways
sell
you?
one of good character,
Well, then why are you here? Willow! I think Willow at that moment surprises themselves with how like aggressive they just were.
I beg your pardon? I would like you to leave my establishment, if you please.
Good day. Willow tips their hat and storms out in a bit of a huff.
She's like, her feathers have been so ruffled.
Hey,
Mm.
I
She,
can
like,
support that.
had that I beg your pardon outburst, which is like, and then quickly like smoothed it down, so you clearly both got under each other's skin
Wow. Good work.
real
Yeah.
fast, real easy.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Willow shoves
just
the
had
door
your-
open and leaves in a hurry. Huh?
You just had your own runny egg situation, but the egg was on your face.
No. No, Willow's holding this egg in their fucking hands.
They're ready to throw it.
Willow's been on edge. Okay, so Willow's going to shove the door open and leave and
Yeah.
reintegrate. I feel like immediately as soon as they reintegrate into the pirate exchange, it's that like, oh fuck off vibe extends
Yeah.
to all of
Yeah.
the noise and the bustle that just like bombarded them as soon as the door opened as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are going to be like, I need to go to the Greenleaf residence. I need to go. Like, I need to get out of this freaking place.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tweaked a nerve in them. That's like they're annoyed.
Yep. You
Obviously.
leave.
Yeah.
You get the fuck out of here.
So we regroup at the Greenleaf residence.
Who
Yep.
gets there first?
Am I able to go and ask about sleeping potions, or is that like off
Yes.
the table
You know
because
what?
I failed?
You know what?
So
I
at
think.
We don't have to
I
roleplay
think-
it, but yeah.
No, I think I do want to cut back to Luca. I think you get led back to Rosebriar Remedies.
Oh.
That is the consequence of your
roll.
7.
We're just having a ball out here today.
As you head back to, you finally get directed to a pharmacy or like a potion shop, and it's that one.
This is why I don't believe in gods. They are
If the gods exist, they are cruel and unfeeling.
Alright, I will diff up a lip and go in, I guess.
Yes.
The door rings like ding ding ding, and Roz, the gnomish clerk at the front desk, very bored, chewing her gum, reading another trashy paperback murder mystery, a different one this time, not the same one, says, "Hi, welcome to Rosebriar Remedies."
She doesn't even look up at me, does she?
No.
Okay, cool. I hate my life. I'm going to walk over to her and casually ask, I would like to inquire as to sleeping potions. My partner and I will be taking a trip soon, and they are not comfortable with boats. So we're looking for something that might be able to help them sleep through the entire trip.
Yeah, potions of sleeping. Do you have a prescription or any allergies regarding that sort of thing?
No. This is our first time looking for something like this, so we don't know what the process is.
Okay, well, just a standard over-the-counter sleeping potion then. Yeah, she turns around and, like, swivel chair, looks at the shelves, plucks one out, that is like this thin, midnight blue bottle with a triangular base. This is a sleep remedy. You are to take 2 drops with food or drink, not alcohol, like water, you know. Mix it in, basically, and that should allow for a peaceful night's sleep. It will just make you drowsy. It's not gonna knock you out if you follow the proper dosage. 2 drops per night, no more, and it will give you a good night's sleep.
What will happen if she takes more?
Well, you're going to get knocked out. Could lead to unfortunate side effects.
I look at her like, continue. Thank you.
She makes a grimace. It's just like, look, if you take too much, you'll get poisoned or whatever. You'll get sick.
Okay. And how much is that?
20 gold pieces.
Okay. Well, I will consult with my partner and see if that's in our budget. Thank you so much. Have the day you
Okay.
deserve.
Wow.
You too. She like gives you a squint and then you leave.
Yes.
Why do I trust you two with anything?
Hey, I got move information today.
Hey, I got plenty.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You both have done very well. This is just very funny.
God, look at that bless your heart backhanded freaking thing was so rude as well. I'm not gonna comment on rudeness. Look, I just yelled at an old elven lady, but
Mine was much less rude than yours.
Yours
We
was
had
a
much
lot
less-
more passive aggressive.
Yeah. Not active aggressive.
Active aggressive. Sometimes both are, you know, what they are. Tis what it is. Anyway, we freaking who's first at the Greenleaf residence?
Luca needs a minute to calm himself down after that. Actually, can I take that back? It feels so mean for him.
It can be nice.
Have the day
I
you
don't know,
deserve.
it's up
It.
to
It's
you.
really a reflection on your character.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That was too mean. He'd probably say like "Have a blessed day," but he sounds really sincere about it.
Have a blessed day. You are such a little.
No, but he means it because it seems
No, I
like she
know.
doesn't remember him. So he's like, "Okay,
Like,
have a blessed day," and he walks out.
God.
so, I assume the pirate exchange is
Sure.
closer to Varys's place than like the Crestside Court,
The Quayside
Quayside?
Court.
wherever
There's the Wavecrest Quarter and the Quayside Court.
Wavecrest was where N was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's further away from Varys because I assume like distance, whoever's closer will get there
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Probably Willow, then me, then you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Willow, you arrive there first.
I imagine Willow's like basically stormed the whole way here.
Mhm.
Probably slow down and at least remember to undisguise themselves as they get closer. Imagine like a very irritated like shove of their hat, and then the illusion falls down.
Yeah.
Probably earlier than that, actually. Like when
Yeah, as you're like
Regalport.
tromping.
Yeah. As if oh God. Lord above Willow. Anyway, so yeah, they are Willow by the time they get there.
Okay.
Identifiably. And I do think that they do take a breath to calm themselves a little before they knock on the door or ring the bell, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sound the alarm.
So they will do that. They are fine.
Varys's niece Isabella opens the door and says, "Oh, hello there, Uncle Varys." And invites you in. Varys comes to meet you. Good afternoon.
Hello. Oh, Willow gestures over their shoulder like they were going to gesture at the others. They'll be on their way. I hope you don't mind. We don't have to stay for very long. It was mainly just to visit. And
No. Come on in.
how
come
are
on
you?
in.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Thank you. Let me get you a cup of tea. Varys is going to do a little insight check.
Yay! Persuasion check. I think I'm doing a persuasion check in response.
Yeah.
I just roll it ahead of time because I'm trying to be so persuasive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Varys can see that you are on edge. And I have just had a great annoyance.
Mm.
A great petty annoyance.
Oh no,
Mm.
Willow was a Karen.
No, don't you dare. Take that back.
No,
Take
it
back.
was
Absolutely not.
the reverse. The reverse.
Yeah, Willow dealt with a
Willow
Karen.
dealt with a
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah. Can I insight check Varys as well?
Sure.
Whatever.
Well, you notice him noticing you.
I thought so. Awkward. Okay.
But he seems generally fine. He just seems comfy at the moment. He's clearly been helping his niece out with her kids. It looks like he's just put them down to nap before dinner. That sort of thing. So Varys makes some tea and brings you a cup and ushers you outside to their little back garden.
Imagine Willow's sitting, but their leg is doing that bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can I ask what put a bee on your behind?
Not in those words. Willow takes a drink of tea.
Well, what's bothering you then?
Just met a rude lady. Well, I suppose that's not all.
No? Well, please continue.
No, what was Varys saying?
He was going to ask what he owed the pleasure of your visit.
Yeah, but Willow apparently said something. Oh, well. No, I suppose that is mainly it. Willow takes another drink.
Longing to be out on the sea again already? Varys says jokingly.
You kid, but... Well, it's a lot easier out there, isn't it?
Certainly less people to interact with.
Willow gives him like a side glance that's like, yeah.
Oh. You are the one with the vessel.
I am.
That aside, what can I do for you today? I'm assuming this isn't just a social visit.
Might be. Bit of both. How are you faring?
Oh, well enough, well enough. Counting down the hours.
Hours, not even days.
Well,
You nervous?
a little.
Yeah.
Trying to practice in my head what I'm going to say.
What have you concluded?
Well, be forthright, but do not offer unnecessary details. Unless asked. I was cursed. I remained cursed. I was saved. I've been recovering. I am looking to return in whatever capacity I may find. I don't have to talk about how the crew that came with me has all decided unanimously to move on. Either to find their own families and recoup their own lost time, or continue on longer lifespans towards brighter horizons. The point is, I'm back. And willing to try again. That's as
Willow,
much as I could ask for, I suppose.
Willow nods. I feel like listening to Varys talk kind of settles their hackles a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they nod. Sounds as good a plan as any. And if all else fails, take up your fancy new sword and challenge him to a duel.
Yeah, if I was not exhausted of living, perhaps. Or that eager to prove myself incompetent.
No. You have many skills beyond the sword.
Indeed. And Rygar hardly needs many more swords at his side. He's got plenty of those.
Indeed. You'll be fine. You'll be better than fine. You'll be... What's better than fine? Great?
Ah, that's a word for it.
And you'll have Luca with you. I believe he's eager to also come along.
Ah. So I am bringing